Hello, my damn scrumptious ravens. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Ravens Real Talk. If this is your first time, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. If it is your first time, Ravens Real Talk is basically a talk show that I created because I wanted to create a space where we could have discussions about things that are important to me or important things that are just generally good to know, a place to share our experiences. And ultimately from these discussions, I wanted to create a space where we could use the information to self-reflect and ultimately become a better person. So I'm very excited to be joined by three amazing people to discuss this topic about lessons learned via streaming. And the cool thing about this topic is that we're a lot of us are streamers, but we're also viewers, and it's interesting to see how the responsibilities kind of differ and change when you're in the role of a viewer and when you're in the role of a streamer, and the different effects of those roles. And I wanted to create a conversation around those things. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it, guys. Before we dive in, let me catch up on chat really quick. Krugs, Norma, Franchise, Hi Boo Boos, Hi Slay, Ellie Petrova. Ooh, damn, that's a cool name. Hello. Bell87, hello. The real Casey Jones, hello. Thank you for being here, guys. Doing well, just getting ready with a notebook, or I'll be referring to the VOD a lot. That's really cool, Slay. Thank you. Evis, hello. Before the lights come up. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you for being here, guys. Hi, Geek Gaming. Hi, Chris. Yo, these vibes. Such a good track. By the way, if anyone's interested in knowing what this track is that I'm listening to, all you got to do is go onto Google, not promoting, but go into YouTube, type in Lo-fi. I call it Lo-fi because Lo-fi is cuter than Lo-fi. And you just check out those beats. It's like really chill, really cool, super cash, super cool. And yeah. Oh, shoot. Something happened, but the thing didn't happen. Where's the alert box? Oh my god. Franchise, thank you so much for that scrumptious sub. I appreciate that. Thank you for using your hard-earned money to support my channel. Thank you very much. Thank you for being part of Team Raven. And of course, as a way of promoting physical fitness and activity on my channel, and as a way of saying thank you, I will be doing 5 exercise reps for that sub. Thank you very much at the end. Too pretty for condoms. Hello. So, before I introduce my scrumptious guests, I would like to take 2 seconds to review a little bit of the rules and just say that if you haven't read the rules already, exclamation rules for the channel. Hi pieces, and oh, bruh, hello, tech. Wait, what? I swear, what's wrong with my bot? Oh my god. Rules got deleted. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. Let me just tell you what the rules are. Basically, guys, the rules are: don't be rude to each other. Don't name call. I don't like any name calling, like bitch, slut, hoe, whore, all of those terrible words that have become very normalized in our society. I don't like it. Don't do it. Don't say it. You'll be banned. You've already been warned. I know there's some people that are okay with that language. I don't tolerate that here. Just be kind, be respectful. If you have a different view that differs from other people in this chat or among the guests, you can share that with us. But if you're going to attack other people for their difference of opinions, or just attack people that are participating, not cool. Not gonna happen. We're just gonna yeet you out of here. So just know that. And yes, without further ado, let me introduce our awesome guest for today. The first person I would like to introduce is someone I thankfully met through Twitch Sings. I always say this every real talk. I'm like, I meet such amazing people through Twitch things, and I'm so fortunate for this. So we are going to introduce my scrumptious friend, Norma. Boom! Hi, Norma. Hi. Do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Well, I'm X normal XOXO. I know it's a weird name, but hey, stuck with it now. Most people just call me Norma. But yes, I mainly do Twitch sings, and that's pretty much it.
And
I'm a Twitch singer.
Fam Jam Slam.
Oh yeah, and I have Fam Jam Slam once a month on my channel and Suge Roth's 8 channel. It's a singing competition show. We picked a top 8 contestants, and then we narrow it down to 3, and then you have your winner. It's amazing.
Live
votes.
Live.
Absolutely. Live performances as well.
Yeah.
Yes, but hi.
Very exciting.
I'm a little nervous. Sorry.
You're doing awesome. Thank you for being here, Norma. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
I love you.
Yay. And the next wonderful person I'd like to introduce is my Canadian brother, my believer duo, my The Night We Met duo. Krugler. Yo, fam, get in here. Fam, get in here.
What up? What it do? How's tings?
Scarborough tings, yo.
Yeah,
Guys, we're not crazy. We're just emulating like Toronto slang. Yeah.
Hello, my name's the Krugler, or Blake.
Balake.
Balake. That's a classic. I'm a streamer. Almost been doing it for 2 years. We do random things like CSI games and music streams, Twitch sings, a little bit of everything, whatever I'm feeling that day. It's just I'm on my way to become a teacher, and I'm just trying to find new fun ways to pass the time while I'm a student. So this is the result.
It's awesome. It's so cool. And he's in the current process of creating a song list. So if you ever see him doing a music stream, definitely stop by and see if you can, find something that he can play for. Yeah, help him out. Help him build his little list. Not a little, it's actually a big list. Hello, Tom. Hello, Cujo. Yikes. Sorry. Thank you for being here, guys. And last but not least, guys, this is another cool person that I met through Twitch Sings. I don't know exactly what's the first song we did together. I don't know if it was Uptown Funk. I don't remember. All I know is that he's damn scrumptious. He's awesome. Please help me welcome Franchise.
Yo.
Oh, he raps too, by the way.
Tings. That's all I know. That's my lingo. Tings. That's what I got away from that. What's up, guys? I'm Franchise, or Franch 15E, or French fries, whatever you want to call me.
You've got it
French
all.
Dressing. Well, I've heard it all. I don't got it all. I've gotten it all. But you can call me Josh. That's what I go by everywhere else and here. By day, I'm a video producer. I create promotional content. I shoot graphic design, that type of stuff. But by night, most days, because work takes up way too much of my time, I stream music. I play video games every now and then, but most of the time, I just play guitar and sing tunes that typically people will throw their hair over their eyes, teenage angst. And,
nobody understands me.
Yeah, nobody gets it. But everybody gets it. It's funny because now everybody's like, wow, those were the bops.
Those were the bops.
That's me.
Yeah. And you too have a song list that people can come by and request from.
I do. Purely requests. I've got a list that you can choose from. Most of the time, though. It's pretty diverse, I think.
Yeah. And sometimes in musical breaks, he'll feel like super, motivated to do some raps. I was there for that, guys. Classic. Great stuff. Check it out. Go for it. Thank you guys once again for being here with me. I know this is a topic that is talked about a lot, but we're trying to get real up in here, okay? We're going to talk about everything. Not just the good stuff, not just the glamorous parts of Twitch, but like everything, the toll it takes on you mentally and sometimes physically. And, sometimes the effects of having bad viewers you know, there is such a thing as a bad viewer, not just a toxic viewer. Sometimes there's a difference between a toxic viewer and a bad viewer. And these are the types of things that I want to talk about over here. So the main purpose of this is to create a discussion, share our experiences, but also educate ourselves and create awareness on this topic, and ultimately grow into better people and improve our lives by discussing things like how streaming has impacted our personal lives, our relationships, the impact of streaming on streamers and viewers, reflecting on lessons that we've learned via streaming, maintaining a healthy divide between private and streaming life, dealing with toxicity, dealing with burnout, tips on how to be a healthier streamer, and tips on how to be a healthier viewer, and anything else that like kind of comes from the comments that you guys make or that we feel like discussing. And I do want to start with a disclaimer that none of us are claiming to have all the answers. We're not all saying that we're amazing. We have everything together. You know, we're all trying to find our own ways. Some of us might be farther along our journeys than others, and we're just kind of sharing our own personal experiences and lessons. So just because someone in chat might not have had the same experiences that we've had, don't discount our experiences just because you haven't had those. And same like vice versa, same way around. And you know, of course, if there's any type of disrespect, there's gonna be bans, timeouts. Don't do it. Just don't. But we came here for all the answers. I'm sorry, Tom. It's not gonna work out well for you, baby. Hi, Cam. So let's start with something super lighthearted, super cash, super cool. Why did you guys start streaming? When did this start? Why did it start? Krugs, why don't you start us off?
All right, so I was a young student trying to do English, and I took one really interesting communication course. And they said at the very beginning, they can take 100% of the course marks, squish it down to 80, and you can do a bonus project that would be worth 20% of your mark. And all you had to do was to contribute in communications in some aspect and check in every once in a while.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let's try this whole Twitch thing. I watched some friends do it, and like I saw some people doing some music stuff. So I was like, oh, we'll dabble our toes in the water for that. So tried that out. Got an A+ on the project, and still stuck around. But I think there's a difference from when you start and like. At first it was a project, but when I actually decided like, okay, I'm going to start as a streamer and not just be like, hi, I'm just here for a project, I'm about to leave, bye. It was like, I started having some throat issues, and usually what I do for fun is like music, and I'd sing by myself. And then I realized like, well, maybe I can't do that as much, but I can still talk. So we kind of shifted a bit more to like the gaming side of things. And that's when I kind of decided like, okay, I think I'm here to stay. Like I've made my little area, I'm comfortable, and we'll go with that for a while.
So it started off as like a test. It was just something that you did it for fun, for school, for marks, and then you're like, wait a minute, I actually like this. This is actually fun.
Well, I was like, this is genius because my professor doesn't know what Twitch is. I'm going to go in, like no marketing, no anything. I'm just going to play to 0 viewers and then get an A+ and be out of it. I was like, this is going to be the easiest project ever. And then like you open up OBS for the first time and you're like, wait a second.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
This isn't as easy as I thought.
No. I really appreciate your professor. Shout out to Krug's professor.
Yeah.
Because they were open-minded to allow you guys to do this project.
Yeah. Good old Wayne Hansen. Shout out to Wayne Hansen.
Shout out to Wayne Hansen. Exclamation SO.
Right
Wait, he's in the chat right now.
Number one fan from day one.
Can you imagine?
No, I didn't tell him about my channel name until like halfway through because I was embarrassed that he would be the only person who'd show up
lurking,
and
marking you on. Oh, that's so awkward. Yeah, Professor, is there anything you'd like to listen to next?
He's cool. He liked Arcade Fire and stuff. So like.
Oh, he'd have good requests.
1000%.
Okay. Professor, shout out. Norma, what about you?
Well, mine's not as cool as that one. So, my friend Issel Merrill, Solo Raven, I'm pretty sure you've heard of Issel, and Krugler, I know you. Issel Merrill called me one day and she's like, I'm gonna come, or no, you need to come over here to my house and hang out. And I was like, okay. So I drove over and she's like, this is my Twitch, and here, just take over it for the day. And I was like, what? Wow. What is a Twitch? I don't know what a Twitch is. And she got me on there that day, and I was hooked immediately. I went out and got myself a Twitch channel, and then I started streaming at that exact.
Oh, we lost Norma.
At that exact moment.
At that exact moment, we lost Norma.
Well, what in the world?
Wait, you're back now. Okay. Oh.
I'm here. What happened?
Oh, sorry.
The intensity. I was like, what-
Yeah,
what's
whoa.
happening?
Sorry.
Find out
What
next
happened?
time.
I'm telling a story, and then my
I don't-
Discord decides to say I hate you.
That's weird. I don't see your cam. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you're back. You're good. Are you good, Norma?
I can
Yeah,
see you guys.
perfect.
There we go. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
That's
Discord.
okay. So you
But
were
anyway,
saying, mhm.
that's how I started streaming. It literally, just she threw me on her Twitch.
Do you think she did that for a particular reason? Like, is that something you needed at that time?
She knows that I love to sing, and yes, she knows that I was going through some stuff at the time, emotional, hard stuff, and it really was a blessing for me to join Twitch and be on Twitch. I've met a lot of great people like yourself, Solo, and you, Krugler, and now my new friend, Franchise.
Right? Oh my God! Shout out to Twitch!
Yes. Thanks, Twitch.
Exclamation SO Twitch mods.
Yeah.
Check them out at twitch.tv/nothing.
Yeah, nothing. It ends there. It really does. What about you, Franchise?
Well, I think it's interesting because I feel like a lot of us, or the three of us at least, have music backgrounds, specifically in the Twitch world. But I was a very competitive gamer as a kid, like the Halo 2 days. And
Oh, wow.
Any game like that that's come out. I mean, I've got Master Chief tattooed on my arm. That's how much I love the guy.
Halo.
But anyway, so just some backstory. Like, it was intense. The love for video games was intense, and so as I got older, really just around 2014, 2015 ish, I just started streaming for a buddy that liked to watch campaigns played online.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of going to YouTube, he was like, "You should just play Alien Isolation," which was one of the first games that I streamed, and like he would just watch, and he was my only viewer. And so I was literally just doing it so I could chat with my homie, and then like one other person came in, but it never really took off from there, and I didn't stream often.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward a couple years to fall of last year, 2019. I was gaming with the same guy and his friends, Arvin, who's one of the guys in the chat there. They told me, "Hey, there's this karaoke game," because they knew I loved to sing all the time. And they were like, "There's this karaoke game that Twitch has got." And I was always singing.
Oh, that's how it...
Yeah, and I was always singing Smule on my phone. I would like the drives back home. would
You
always
were a
be the
smuler!
Yeah, and so I would
can
just do
feel
that.
too.
Yeah, Secret Smuley here too.
I loved it. I was like, the concept of this is so great. The interface of it was confusing at times, but like it was so easy to get in my car, put in my headphones dangerously, and just sing on the way home because I was doing it anyways. So anyways, he told me, he was like, "There's a game like that Twitch just put out," which it's fall now, so I think it had been out for a while. But that's how I got into Twitch Sings, and I've kind of gotten off of Twitch Sings a little bit, and now I'm focused purely on
Music.
Not purely, but mostly on music, playing guitar, and the request stuff that we started out with. But yeah,
That is really cool. It's like everyone has their own path that led them to Twitch. I really like that. But what's
origin
interesting,
story.
yeah, different origin stories, but I bet you most of us have had at least some kind of overlap in experiences, which is really interesting. Let's dive deeper. What is something that you wish that you could tell yourself before you started streaming / what are some lessons that you've learned over your journey? This is the deep one, so I can start us off.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest things was when I first started streaming, I started the same way, like 0 viewers, and I was just in a very, very sad and like dark place, and I just wanted to feel less alone in some way. So even though I had 0 viewers, talking out loud is really therapeutic, guys. For real. So I would just be talking to myself as I would be gaming, because I've always been quite an animated person when it comes to gaming. Like anytime I had gaming nights with my siblings, I would always be like super hyper and crazy and just having the best time playing games. So the only difference this time was the camera was on, and it was a possibility that someone could stumble upon my channel and watch. And so when I first started and I started having these deep talks randomly that would just come out via the games I was playing or just things I was going through in my life, and I would just be talking, and then people would come and chat and we'd start talking. I wanted to help people so badly, and I wanted to heal people so badly that I think I blurred the line between like taking care of myself and like trying to help people. So I started getting a lot of DMs from people, and I would try to be keeping up with conversations that I thought were helping me heal too, and helping them heal. But in the process, I was like losing myself, and it was almost becoming a burden, keeping up with all of those conversations and keeping up with all of these people's lives. And it was exhausting. It was really exhausting. And I can't remember who said this, but someone was like, I probably read it somewhere or heard it in a lecture of some kind or a religious sermon or something. And they were like you can't help other people if you're drowning yourself, right? So self-care is very important. And although there are people who make you feel ashamed of taking care of yourself and guilty, it's very important, very, very important. And you're probably going to hear this a lot from me during the course of this talk, but self-care is hella important, and being mentally healthy is important. And if that means you cut everyone out of your life and only have like 2 or 3 people that you talk to, that's your capacity, and there's no shame for that. So I think one of the many lessons I've learned is that definitely take care of yourself first, know your capacity, and don't make anyone make you feel bad for that. Like if they truly are your friends, they won't be offended by that. They'll respect that. They'll support you, and they'll give you the space and the space that you need to be healthy.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the things I've learned.
And one thing I maybe like attach onto that, it's slightly separate, but it intersects at one point. It's like people are on Twitch. It's the same website, but it's not the same website for different people. So people are on here for different reasons. So like for you, it was a chance to like kind of go through what you needed to, and it was almost more like a social thing. Like you needed for other people, and like you wanted to make sure other people didn't feel in similar ways. You're helping them out. But then there's other people here that are trying to treat it like a business. Not me. I don't have that type of energy for it. But I'd say sometimes a lot of stress can come from when those two interact together. So like when people are seeing people as a viewer and other people are seeing people as like a friend.
Oh.
And you get that disconnect. And then so sometimes it's less that no one's doing anything wrong. It's just there's a giant miscommunication there for that. So like once I realized that people are on Twitch for different reasons, it made it easier, because then I do have people and like really close friends that are just going for it, and this is like they need this strict schedule and they want to try and improve this much, and they have all of these goals, which is absolutely awesome. But it's good to know what they're there for and what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it really does. And guys, that's going to save you a lot. I'm not saying guys as in guys. I'm saying guys in general. I feel like that is such a good good distinction. And I feel like luckily I didn't have this problem, but I know there's a lot of people that I think they're kind of caught up in their own lives and their own healing process, or their own things that they're trying to fix about their lives, that sometimes they don't realize that sometimes they are just a viewer to a streamer, and they might feel like, oh, this person's talking to me and having like a deeper connection with me, like there's maybe something here. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but they might prize the friendship at a higher level than the streamer, for example. And when that person finally realizes that, or the streamer finally kind of breaks it down black and white for them, it might shatter them. So I think a healthy way to go about it is just kind of like feel it out, trust that, or just accept that person is a streamer first, and then if there's something deeper there, then you guys can have open conversation and talk about it. But like, don't go into it thinking that this is like my friend. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. I think that's gonna save you a lot of heartache, guys. I really truly believe that. Yeah. What about you, Norma?
Solo Raven. See, I have the issue of I came into Twitch emotional, and then Twitch helped me a lot, and then I got emotional again. Because why? Because Twitch. Because Twitch made me emotional. You know, you meet people, and then they kind of. You guys ever experience that? You meet people, you get close with people, viewers, I should say, and they're gone. Like one day, you just don't see them again.
Ooh.
That was affecting me badly.
Wow.
I was crying a lot because I was that. I'm not like that now, but I used to when I first started streaming.
You would get attached.
I was affected. Yes, I was affected, attached to people. I thought, oh my gosh, so and so's here every day, like every stream. Every time I stream, they're here, and then one day they're just gone.
Not there.
And I don't see them anymore. And that right there has been the hardest for me to grow.
That is so interesting.
I've gotten to where I had to build like this. I had to build a wall between me and viewers. You know, because
it's like the opposite of what Krug said. Instead of like the viewer having that misinformation about the streamer, it's the streamer having that connection that maybe the viewer doesn't, or to that level. Yeah.
Well, especially
That's
like
both ways, guys.
when you first start, it's like you're going through that grind, and like those first few people, I think it like impacts you more, and you don't even know that could be something that comes in down the line. So sometimes it just swipes you on the side, but sometimes too with that, it's like allowing them to do their thing helped me out a lot, because like sometimes they do come back and they come up with so many interesting stories, perspectives, and then sometimes like it gives you time and energy to like find other cool people to add to the list.
Right. But you know how it affected me? It affected me in a negative way, because I was like, what am I doing?
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah. Why did you leave? Why did they stay? You know,
you thought it was a you problem.
Yeah, I thought it was me. I thought I was like lame, or, you know, just didn't entertain enough, or, you know. And at first, I will admit, I was not as open as I am now. So I've opened up a lot. But Krugler knows I used to just like, please, y'all, I'm just barely singing like this.
That's amazing that you can look back and see all the progress. Yes. Norma, that's awesome. Shout out to Norma.
Yeah. I'm just glad
I've grown. I'm glad I've grown.
I was gonna say I've just met you recently, but I would never know. Like I think that you've already, just in this chat alone, have spoken out so much that I can appreciate and respect where you've come from, you know. And that's such a cool thing. I think I talked to Krugler. Krugler's like my Twitch guru, if you will. He's like the
that sounds like I know too much.
Yeah. He has all the answers. So the disclaimer at the beginning.
There you go, Tom.
Oh, he's over here. So I Slay actually just asked how long we've all been streaming, so I'll answer that in short before I answer the other question. I really started streaming in fall of last year, so I think I'm probably the most junior.
1 year-ish, a little shy of 1 year. Okay.
Yeah, so I had streamed before that, but it wasn't like I wasn't committed. It was just like I'm gonna hit live and see what happens.
Yeah.
But to answer the question about something I wish I could tell myself, so a little background on myself. I'm very optimistic, and I'm very fortunate to have lived the life that I have. Now I fought and worked for a lot of the things that I have, but also I think that that's reflected back on me through the people that I get to interact with and meet. And so I never at any point, I think, was expecting anything out of Twitch. I think it was a lot of hope. Maybe that is expectations, but it was hope that, you know, if I start streaming Overwatch, I'm gonna have 2,000 viewers someday soon if I just keep playing, even if I'm not a good player. And I've never been dedicated to the grind of staying committed so that I can get the viewers, or like building the community at the time when I was just playing games. But what's happened since then has been like, you do build those relationships that that I'm glad that I have. I want to be able to I would tell myself that, you know, the people will come. And the truth about Twitch is that if people, it's like, I was telling Krugler this last night. We've been discussing this even before we knew that we were going to be talking about this. So
it was like it was meant to be.
Yeah. So, but something that happens is that it's kind of like a dating website without the dating aspect, because and I say like a modern day dating website like Tinder, where it's like you see someone's picture and then you can swipe one direction or another. And it's like you can pop into
just
a
as
stream
easily leave though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
pop into a
Oh,
stream
yeah.
and go, I don't like the vibe, I'm out.
I'm over it. Yeah.
And that's okay. Like I love that for the sole fact that like, one, as the streamer, you don't need that negativity in your life if they're gonna judge you based off of that. But two, if they stay and they realize they don't like you, then it's okay. There maybe is a disconnect anyways. But the people that stay, truly, I think, in my experience, again, my personal experience, truly care and enjoy what's happening. They're there for the content. They're not there to make your life more difficult. Now there are trolls that come in, I know, and that is their sole purpose. But in my experience, like everyone's so friendly, and if they don't vibe, then it just doesn't happen. And it is kind of weird, just on what you guys have said, to go into another stream and to see somebody that you thought maybe was hanging out in yours, and then you're like, wait, I haven't seen them in my stream for quite some time. But me personally, I don't take it personal, because everybody's their own person, and if I don't play the music that somebody doesn't like, that's cool.
It could be as simple as that. Like, I just don't like
or-
your music taste.
Or it could be like, I'm a Chiefs fan, you know, I don't like the football team that you have up plastered everywhere and represent in everything that you wear. Like, Cujo in the chat is a rival football team fan. But no, it's such a cool thing for me. It's I'll probably get into more later, because if I could tell myself something, it would be like, just be yourself.
Yeah.
You know? Because the people that are gonna stay are gonna stay.
Yeah.
I've learned that lesson.
As cliche as that sounds, honestly, guys, like, you don't want to have people around anyways that are just sticking around for a certain gain from you, or a certain boxing you up. Like, if you started off as a legend streamer, right, and then suddenly you're just like, I want to play some Fall Guys, I want to do some Twitch things, and they dip on you, that's not a you problem. And I know it's hard to not internalize that. That's just them looking for League of Legends streamers. That's it. That's nothing you can do can satisfy them without you being unhappy. Like, if you exploring different things makes you happy, are you really going to give that up just so people can like you? Like, ultimately, I think you need to weigh out your happiness in comparison to others, and just, again, self-care. Like, look after yourself. What is good for you? And I think I suffered from that in the beginning, because I felt like, oh my God, why are people leaving? But then it got to a point where I was like, I'm glad. You know what? You found out what was good for you. It didn't work for you. My vibe didn't work for you, and that's okay. Doesn't mean I have a bad vibe. Doesn't mean you have looking for better vibes or whatever it is. It's just we didn't vibe right, and it's okay. And I think that's so important to know and acknowledge, so that you don't get hard on yourself. Streaming is exhausting sometimes, you know, and adding that pressure onto yourself, I think, can be extra exhausting and take away from the fun. Streaming's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun at the end of the day. Like, even if for those people, I think, that look at it like a business, if you're not having fun, bro, like, that's like having a shitty job, which I know a lot of us do, but if you really want that.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I don't have like a huge community, but the community that I have built around me and that have found themselves in my place is awesome.
Yeah.
The quality is bonkers, like out of this world. Like, I keep saying, like, that's how much it's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to know that I can just come on, and if I've got two people popping in, it's probably two people that already know me, and they just want to chill, you know, and they just want to talk. Or they just want to lurk, you know. And that's so cool to me. Like, I don't need the numbers. Like, I'm just doing it just because I'm gonna sit in this room and play guitar anyways. So if somebody wants to listen,
great,
come on in.
Yeah. What I don't like is when people come in and they're just like, oh, you're doing songs. Fortnite when? And you're like,
right.
Never. Joke's on you, buddy.
You can always like spin things in the positive. Maybe it's like my sales background, but I always just like try and word it differently. So when, like, sometimes people come in, like when I did a lot of music and that was getting some traction, and then when that wasn't as much of an option and I went to like gaming, some people would be like, oh, when are you doing music? Like,
okay.
The instant idea would be like, oh man, like they like the music, they don't like what I'm doing here. But then I can flip it and be like, wow, that means they really liked it when I did music. It's like, if I'm gonna be hard on myself, I gotta like celebrate myself just with that same amount of energy. So it's like,
Yeah.
cool. So when I do music again and they pop back in, I know they're here, they're excited, and like, let's have a good time. And then otherwise,
Absolutely.
because like there's times some people I absolutely adore. Like, let's say like Franchise and I hang out a bunch, and like, let's say I'm just not feeling DBD one night. He's like, hey, you want to play DBD? I'm like, nah. Like,
And that's that.
I'm not saying no to him as a person. I'm probably saying no to DBD because it's a stressful game sometimes.
It is very
it's-
stressful.
I think when like people aren't showing up for a bit, I just more so get excited for when they do. And, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to put that energy in the right space too. I don't
Yeah.
know. But it's not just like you can just say that and then poof, it's all gone.
No, they're rougher days sometimes, and then there are
Yeah.
other days where you're like, you celebrate it and you're good. Yeah.
And to the point of like, a lot of us are agreeing to like be yourself. I find it so important because a lot of people, when you see people being like successful, like a lot of times they're portraying characters, or they're like slightly exaggerated or very exaggerated versions of themselves. And it works for some people, but not everyone. And like, just you being yourself and streaming can take so much energy
Yes.
that like anytime you can conserve energy, the better. And I've seen people that like, I don't want to say are successful, but like they would have higher numbers. They would be seen as more successful. But then the people that gravitated towards them maybe were like younger audiences. And sometimes they just wanted to be themselves and not be so PG, or overall, it's like they get the numbers, but then it wasn't really they have a disconnect with the people that are showing up.
Yeah.
And they almost have to like nuke that and start again sometimes.
Oh, that sounds
So
exhausting.
yeah, and then like you always have different people coming in, and everyone's expecting different things of you. It's like, if you just be yourself, that's a whole aspect. That's a giant chunk of stress you just never have to deal with.
Ever have to deal with. Yeah, exactly. I also have to agree with. Yeah, you go ahead, Norma.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I feel like I'm the odd one out because I only do Twitch things. Like, I don't do different games and stuff. But I have had people come in and say, "Are you ever gonna play a game? Are you ever gonna do a just chatting?" And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, the fear is still there. Like,
Okay.
if I go away from Twitch things, what's that gonna do? So I don't know. I feel like the odd one out because I'm the only one that does Twitch things. One that only does Twitch things.
But see, that's another aspect of streaming. There are some people who choose to only do one game or one type of stream. Like, there are some people who just do just chatting. Like, that's religiously what they do. And I can only imagine how scary it is to be like, oh my God, should I even try to venture out of here? Like, this is my comfort. It already took so much courage to get here.
Oh, yes,
like,
Daddy.
I don't know if I can break out of this more. So it's less about you trying to like please others, and it's more like a you thing that you're dealing with, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very.
And that's your journey,
internal
girl.
fear.
Yeah.
A very
It's also-
legitimate one though. Like you're valid in your fear because it is scary. You're like, this is what I know, this is what I do. And I mean, like, music is kind of what I've started to really narrow down recently. Like, that's before that I was just doing Twitch things too. And I don't think that like there's anything wrong with you just sticking with that if that's what makes you happy. Now if you switch to the other things and like nobody comes in, that's not on you. That's just like the interest of the viewer. It maybe not doesn't fall in that category, but
Yeah.
you're totally valid in your feelings.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
Especially just chatting, that's scary. Like it because
I'm
you
scared
no
right
longer...
now.
This is fine. We got people. This is fun. This is talking with friends. But like, I mean, like Solar Raven, you're doing it right now, so you can attest to it. It's like, it's not like you're playing music and like that's the content and then you just get to talk in between.
Yeah.
Or it's not like you're playing a game and you're reacting to it. Like you
on your
are
own.
the content.
Yeah, you are. That's it.
Some people get excited. Like I love like you can just get weird with OBS. Like if you're someone whose mind gets sidetracked and you can just go on those tangents, like there's literally no box to contain you in your energy.
Yeah.
But then for other people, like it's like I don't know, is this going to be a 2-hour thing, a 4-hour thing? I don't know if I'm going to continue talking about something.
Yeah.
What if things go wrong? So it's like, it's a scary thing. But if someone's saying like, when are you going to do a just chatting stream? Like a lot of times you get presented those things and it's like, will I or won't I? And you can be like, I don't know. Like it's a valid answer.
It is.
Maybe in a year's time, maybe you're like, you know what? I want to try it. Or
Just
other
not
times,
right now,
maybe. You don't. Yeah. But even if you never do, it's like, that's if you're not happy with what you're doing, they're not going to be happy watching. And so if you ever get to a point where you want to do a just chatting stream, I'm sure it's going to be some of the most fun you might end up doing. But if you never want to do that, there's so many people that are just chatting when they want to do that. And then when they want to get some top quality Twitch Sing stuff, they go to Norma.
That's right. See?
But
Bring it around.
you know
Full
what's
circle.
hard? This is hard for me because I'm hard on myself. I don't know if you guys are super hard on yourself.
I am, yeah.
But when I'm doing Twitch Sings, there are times that I want to pull the screen up and just talk. I
Yes.
just want to talk to my chat. But then I'll see people like some people that are in this chat will joke with me around and say, Norma, just shut up and sing. It's a joke. And I know it's a joke. But it's like, I'm afraid to talk a lot in Twitch Sings because they're there to hear you sing, not hear you talk. If that makes any sense.
I don't think that's true. I think that they are there for you, and while you are an amazing singer, they're also there for your personality. And like we've been saying, I'm new to your stream. I just tuned in for the first time last week, just because I got your name from this. And like, you were an amazing singer, but also like you were so engaging.
Yeah.
In the songs and out of the songs. And I think that you just said you know that they're joking, and you know that they're just saying like, get back to singing. And I will say I've noticed that there's commands in other people's chats where it's like, get back to singing, because they sit there and talk too much. But it's a joke because they really are enjoying the content that's being brought to the table.
Like they'll add a kappa or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I just never thought I was a good talker, so I don't.
But do you
Well-
enjoy it? Like when it's flowing naturally and you just feel like talking, do you like it?
When I'm it's odd because when I'm in my stream, I love it. I love just talking to everybody.
Yeah.
But then I go on like a show, like I've been on Suge's show, and then you're my second show I've ever been on.
Yay.
So I'm like I freeze up. I'm like, oh my god, I have to talk to people. And then people are like, you're a streamer, Norma, you talk to people all the time, and I'm like, it's different.
Yeah, I get that.
For me, it's different, and internally, it's different.
I feel like if it's your, I always say this, and I know this sounds rude, but I don't give a shit. Your stream, your rules. If you want to fucking talk and lift up your pop filter, you go ahead and do that. And they want to leave, you can dip set boop boop. Bye bye. Okay. I honestly, genuinely feel like that. Like there have been people like back early on, like people used to say that to me, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're talking so much, this and this," and I'd be like, "But I want to." So.
One thing that helps that too with me is like when I look back on like I find clips are a good way to really show when people really enjoyed a moment, because like someone wanted to save it, someone wanted to share it, and like it's like a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like underused and under celebrated. But I'd say like when I go back and look at all of my favorite memories, very rarely, like sometimes it's like a boom, I finally did that rap I couldn't do before, I hit those notes, or I found a new way to harmonize. But most of the time it's like me chatting, usually saying something stupid,
a special
accidentally.
funny moment or something. Yeah.
Because like it's not just like a songs on a playlist and you just press play. There's like the whole unique and amazing aspect of Twitch is the interactability. And so I find like if you have something worth talking about,
Yes.
great. If anything, it gives you a break for your voice.
Yeah.
I want to go into chat real quick because Welsh said brought up a good point.
Well
He was
said.
saying that everyone, what's up, Zed?
Hi,
Everyone
Zed.
enjoys different aspects of a stream. I know people who mute the singers and unmute for the talking.
Ooh, I like that.
That's awesome.
That's
And then-
interesting.
and shortly after that, I just want to go right after that. Pieces to follow that up. So Twitch is my social outlet, and Zed said I'm starting to lean that way too. This place is almost like I go here now. I'm now more on Twitter because a lot of my the people that I follow have morphed into everybody on Twitch, and then I just wait for people to come online so I can just say, what's up, how's it going, what was the last thing you did. And I think that that's so unique that I haven't done that before. I usually have to mute because I'm a video editor and I have to listen to audio, which is so annoying, and I have to lurk. But that's such a cool aspect that like this is the place that you go now and like to get not frustrated.
Yeah,
with the
release
world.
tension and like stress.
Yeah.
But with that too, it's like, so I guess, is everyone familiar with like the term like prosumer?
Sure.
The term?
Okay, well,
Oh yeah.
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 because it's like you're the consumer, but you're also like the one that's like producing the content. Like you are what's being sold and you are what's buying. And like
Right.
we can't forget that like as close as a lot of these people are to our hearts, or like how open we are in like I don't know, the social aspect, the actual website itself is a business. And I think that's another thing I learned and wish I could tell myself sooner. Because it's like the whole idea of the best example I can give is like, let's say you make affiliate, you see that list and it's like 3 things and you become partner. And like 2 of them, super easy to, it's like hours watched or something. No, what are the 3? Does anyone know?
75 consistent viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Days,
And then
Okay.
days of streaming.
Yeah.
and then hours.
So the days and hours is something that's like can be achievable. And then it's just like it makes you feel like, oh, it's just one thing. I just have one thing and then I'm partner. And it, like, so some people really go in on it. And then like you feel I'm the worst example of this because I have way too much dumb extra stuff. But it's like you feel like, okay, I need to buy that next thing. And like it's a business. And so like sometimes it gets when your friendships gets tied to one business making money, then like that can like pull yourself apart a bit too and create more stress.
Yes, yes, it does. And I know I have a lot of people that mention like they do things to bring in the viewers. Like they change up their stream so that they can bring in specific viewers because they got to beat the numbers. They got to make those views. But again, going back to my previous point, like I really do think that the root of streaming is something pleasurable. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something that releases stress. So if you're becoming more stressed out, thinking about the numbers, watching the count, like the numbers drop and go up and all that, like it's stressful. Isn't it stressful, Norma?
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of this.
I think we've all been guilty at some point of it, but it's about how consistently you do it. Like I catch myself now and I'm like, nope, just have fun, bro. Just like, it's gonna come. Like if success is meant for you and you put in the work, it's gonna come. That's what I truly believe. And like stressing about it is not gonna help me. It's not. If anything, people are gonna realize that like you're doing things that you don't enjoy just to please chat or just to get the numbers. You know what I mean? It's like what Dee mentioned, like you need to just figure out what's you and like what's something that's not me. I don't know, like if I start doing something and people okay
Fortnite?
this is not that's that too. But if I suddenly, and this is not a like shade on anyone, but if I suddenly start showing up with like boobs just spilling out, right? Full done, hair done, makeup done, nails done, all that. Like you clearly know that I'm like trying something different because I'm trying to please a different type of audience and bring a certain different market. Like you'll look at that and be like, that's not Raven. That's actually not Raven. You know what I'm saying? So you need to just figure out what's you. And I probably wouldn't be happy doing that because I'd be like pretending to be someone I'm not. It's not fun. That works for some people. Selling out. Yeah. Selling out. Sorry. Yeah, that's basically what I meant. Selling out. And I just feel like if you're going to sell out, you probably don't usually enjoy the root of doing that. But I wanted to bring up what Norma said. Norma said she has to build a wall to keep her heart safe and to basically prevent herself from getting like too attached to people. And I think that as negative as that might sound, I feel that I just naturally have realized that I do the same. And I don't know if that's just because of my overall experiences in life. But I feel like that has really worked out for me really well. And as cold-hearted as this might sound, I know I'll be okay if anyone leaves. If a regular leaves, I'll be okay because I think I've stopped putting so much pressure on them to just be there all the time, to be what fills me. I've stopped putting pressure on them to be my fun in streaming. Like they're not what they are what makes streaming fun, but they're not like the reason I stream. I'm not streaming for the people, I'm streaming for myself essentially. So if someone decides to leave out of my life or they decide to leave my Discord server or my stream or whatever the case is, I've definitely noticed that I'll be like, oh, that sucks, but I just kind of get over it. And I think that wall helps with that, Norma. So I think that
definitely helps.
Yeah.
I like that because like also
It helps.
that could like create unnecessary stress on the viewer feeling like they need to show up every time. Because like I had that problem too for a bit, and like especially like if I've got schoolwork to do, and like sometimes I'm like, oh there's my new friend, they're new to streaming, I just really want to be that one viewer for them, because like then that'll really help out, and like I can answer any questions they have. And so like I would hate if I unintentionally caused those things, and I never until right now connected those two, because like I've had both of those ideas, but I've never, not like I put the stress on people, but it's like I've been the viewer that felt like I needed to be there, and I've also been the streamer that was like disheartened, I guess,
when they weren't there regularly.
Yeah, but I could just now I like put those two Lego pieces together, and I'm like I don't know, it's almost like you can take those two ideas and like level them out. And
yeah, sometimes as a viewer and as a streamer, you're kind of going through the same thing but on different ends, but the pressure is still there. And like, to anyone watching the stream right now who is a regular, I hope I know don't make you feel like your presence is it's welcomed, it's awesome, I enjoy it, but it's never like a requirement. If you got things to do or you just don't want to come by my stream, that's okay. Like, I'm not going to take it personally. So I just want to put that out there, and I hope I don't put that pressure on you guys.
And if I do, let me know.
Yeah, if I do, let me know. Yeah. I want to comment on what Pisa said. He said, I can't talk to someone if they're not friends. I used to do customer service when I had to talk to strangers and I hated it. Do you guys think that you can consider someone a friend but still like not be a regular, not, you know, like eventually kind of like fall out with them, or not even fall out, just be like, I'm kind of like, I'm okay, like not going by their stream as often, like I'm good, but we still have a good conversation? Or do you think that you can only be considered a friend if you're like a regular, you're constantly interacting, there's constant communication?
Oh, I think you can definitely be friends without somebody being in your chat all the time. That's just my opinion. No.
Yeah.
So my line of work is dealing with people all the time, and I have to like tell them, you know, just for background again, I'm a video producer, so I have to tell them, like, from a creative perspective, what's doable. You know, a lot of people think that I'm Hollywood, and I'm not. I'm just a dude that has the camera. Okay, so now I take that and I bring that and I apply that here, where it's like, and I love people, and one of my faults is that I trust everybody until they prove me wrong.
Right.
And so,
oh my god, I gotta like fight myself.
And so, and it's still true, and I can control it. Like I'm so good at social awareness. Like my social awareness level is high, my EQ, if you will. And
me too.
And I'm not like boosting myself. I'm just saying, like, it's easy for me to read the room, even from chat. Like, chat is so hard to read the tone sometimes. But what I'm trying to get down to is that I'll trust everybody, and everybody is my friend until they say something that's a little bit off, or they say something and they're in response to someone else, and I'm like, that's not right. Like, and maybe it's not something that like is against the rules or something like that, but it's just like tone, and it's very easy. I think people just, again, it goes back to like, people know if they're not wanted, you know, and I'm not saying like regular viewers, I'm just saying like, I think people know that if they can read the room, that like this isn't for me. And then that benefits both of you, because that just eliminates that relationship. I guess it is tough though when it's someone that you thought that you respected and trusted, and then they let you down, and you know, and then there's a falling out from there. But I don't feel too much pressure to be friends. I think it comes naturally from me, and that's again a flaw. Like the trust thing. It's just like, we're friends, let's go. And then
the other thing too is like, think about how many cool people are in chat right now, and like even just like us four. So like, I really enjoy what all three of you guys do. You know what? I'm gonna include myself.
I was about to be like, we enjoy you.
Yeah, I like what all of us four are doing. But like, for instance, like Norma, like, it's been a while since we chatted, and it wasn't like, I never actively was like, I'm going to stop going, or like, you get caught up so much. And if we wanted to give that, like, if we had the expectation of like, if you're friends with me, you'll be in my stream, none of us would have time to stream right now. Like, think like, just like, if all these people in chat right now, sometimes multiple of those people are live at once, like, you only have so many monitors, so much RAM, like, and like almost like emotional RAM too. So like, I hope like no one I don't think anyone takes it personal, but it's like I put that extra pressure sometimes on myself and then don't have that same expectation of others. So like, no, it's fine. You do you, you do you. Then for me, I'm like, I need to go there. I need to make sure they know that like I'm supported.
I'm still here. I still support you.
But I think that I'm not a friend with someone because they're in my stream. Like if someone pops in my stream, I don't say you're my friend now.
That's such a good way of mentioning it.
For me, it's like the stuff off stream sometimes, like when I get to like play games or like chat or do other things, joke around, like that's what made me a friend of theirs. And like a great example is like Well Said was in chat earlier. He was like my first online friend. Like we were like chatting all the time. We're in the same grind and like we had a lot of fun. And then he just had a very busy life. He had other stuff to do. And at first you get kind of bummed out about it. And like it's less that I think like, oh, maybe we're not friends. It's just like, oh, like right now he lives in the other side of the world and he's like a new father. Like he's living his life normally.
Exactly.
But, like,
yeah.
That gave me the opportunity. Like I don't know if I would have met Josh if like some of my buddies like Well Said didn't take that break.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that lull for a little bit and then you
it's
get excited.
Okay.
Yeah, but you never connect the dots that like you made those new great friends because you had a chance to like not take a break, but you had a chance to put your energy elsewhere for a bit.
Yeah, and it's okay. And shoot, you just mentioned the person's name, and you didn't. They didn't take it personally. When
oh, not at all.
You weren't, there for a little bit.
He said you replaced me franchise. There.
Ew.
But like the other thing too, I guess, like one other point I had was sometimes the best way to like improve like your stream is to like, you think it's always like get that better camera or like work on OBS or do stuff, but like the best things that happened for me was like for my stream was stuff that happened outside. Like I worked hard, I got that A+ on that like project, and I came back and I was so energized, and because of that emotion, that gave me one of my favorite streams. Or like even like to use music as an example, because we've all like streamed that, it's like all of that time you took offline before you even knew Twitch was a thing to sing and better yourself or play guitar or whatever. Those are things that you did to enhance your skills so that when you were live, you created a better experience. So you don't have to think online context to be able to benefit yourself. And sometimes the best thing you could do is befriend people outside or like learn a new skill and like somehow find a way to bring that together. So like offline improvement helps so much more with online.
Yeah.
So does anybody have that your days off are really not days off because you're still working on stream stuff?
Hell yes.
Because that's me.
Hell yes.
I'm streaming when I'm not streaming.
Yes. But you know what?
It's,
Don't you think it's like kind of part? But okay, wait. But does that stress you out? I think that should.
It doesn't stress me out. You mentioned something earlier, or you guys had mentioned stuff about partner, trying to be partner. And that's kind of the road I'm going down because I'm a full-time streamer. I stream like I used to stream 6 days a week. I've knocked it down to 5 days. And sometimes not even 5. Sometimes I do 4 because there are days I'm just like, I don't want to go on today. Like my voice, because I sing all the time, so my voice is completely.
Yes, of course.
End of the week, I'm like, oh my gosh, my voice is just gonna go. It's just gonna go anytime. But the partner thing is that's hard.
It's hard.
That's been mentally hard on me because one week you're looking at your numbers. I know you're not supposed to look at them, but you're looking at your numbers and you're going, wow, it's getting better, it's getting better, it's getting better. And then the next week it goes back down. So it's an emotional toll on you sometimes,
I feel like it's worth mentioning because like I don't know if you'd feel comfortable saying it, but like I think you are doing very well on Twitch right now. Like kudos to you.
I agree.
And I think it's all about setting realistic goals. And so for you, like we'll be completely upfront, like with the viewership and the type of content you do and like the fact that you seem to really enjoy Twitch things, like it is a realistic goal. You are at a point now where you can start saying, what do I fine tune to get to that goal? But like some people that are
but
like,
not at the cost
off,
of your happiness, I think, and what you want to produce as your content.
If someone started streaming day one and they're like, okay, first goal, become partner. Then like you're gonna be disheartened. You're gonna feel like there's no progress. And so I this is something I learned from streaming, and this genuinely improved like my entire life is like, you can't hit a target until you set it up. And it's like, you're not going to start with one way far away. So it's like, set small achievable goals to get to that overarching one. It's good to have that big goal, but you're not just going to get there by saying, I'm going to have 75. It's going to be, I'm going to find out what I'm comfortable with. I'm going to feel comfortable with OBS. I'm going to like find ways to like better myself, or like sometimes it's just like success can be like, I just want to have fun today. I'm going to press go live and I'm going to laugh. So like, I think it's really important. We've talked about the word a lot, and I'm actually curious if I can ask this question, and it's a big one. So you guys don't have to answer if you don't want, but like, to you, what is the definition of success for Twitch? And it can be like numbers, it can be partner, but do any of you guys have an idea what success would be?
Can I first start by saying hashtag Norma for partner?
Right? Hashtag Norma for partner.
In the chat, Norma for partner. Let's go. Can you repeat your question, because I just wanted to say that so bad.
So I've done. I was just saying. So like, because a lot of times like everyone wants to be successful. All four of us being here, we want some form of success. But like, have you ever taken time to like think or define what success is for you?
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm gonna. Young Sub actually just said this in the chat. He said success is relative.
Yeah.
And obviously we're all gonna have probably a different viewpoint on what success is. Maybe some similarities, but to me, success is making friends. And even if I don't make new friends, I feel like I build my relationships with my current friends even more. And what's like, my bar is very low for Twitch. Like I'm not looking to achieve any numbers or anything like that. Like Raven, you said it not too long ago, like this is for me, you know?
This is for me.
And it's fun, and I love meeting people, and I love learning about people's lives. I'm a very social person, but also at the same time I get to stay at home and I don't have to go anywhere, and that's cool too. But yeah, success is building these relationships by just making friends to me. And then outside of that, you get to play games with them. Off stream, you get to communicate in life, because again, you attract people with the same mindset. You attract people that are like-minded, and it's so easy to just move on and go somewhere else if that's not what you like. But at the same time, like once you find somebody that's like down with it, like they're gonna stick with you, you know. And that's such a cool thing that is also applicable to the real world. Obviously, a lot of us can't go out and meet new friends in person right now.
No, yeah.
Right.
So to already have this connection and these connections with people is so awesome. So yeah, again, for me, it's just people. And I want to read Young Sub's thing one more time, because he is pretty cool and he has supported me so much.
Hi, Young
recently.
Sub.
He said, for example, I don't ever dream to be partner. I'm embedded in the small streamer community, and it's been a blessing. Again, if I can help lift up small streamers, that's success for me. He just started streaming not too long ago, and he stays in the small streamer community and promoting them. And his entire fan base is so supportive of him and anybody that he takes, because everybody is so similar minded, you know, and it's so cool to like build those friendships. And I've just in the past 3 weeks or so from meeting him from someone else have like made so many friends that I know that I can trust or go to for like a good time as a viewer, not as a streamer. We haven't really touched on what it's like as a streamer that views too often.
Yeah.
But what a like, it's so cool when there are people that really dedicate themselves to bettering everyone. And I try to do that too. I try to make sure that success to me is also being a viewer that engages with the person in chat that nobody else is talking to for whatever reason. Or engaging with the streamer when there's no one, when there's a whole side conversation going on in chat and they can't keep up with it. It's like someone's still got to like interact, you know? Yeah, it happens. Like we all have our flaws, and it's hard to like keep up with everything all at once. But yeah.
And
so,
then
anyways,
if you end up with if Young Sub ends up in a situation where he is doing like a lot more successful, he doesn't define himself as like a small streamer anymore, and he wants to like go for the partnership, he's got that choice. And if he never wants to do that, that's cool too.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's cool that he can define his success, because you need to go back and like rethink that and touch base with it again and saying, is what I'm trying to work towards that success? Or else then you're getting the doubt of like, the fact you're not hitting the success you want to have, and then that you're wasting energy going another way.
Have you guys ever compared yourself to other streamers?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I do that all the time. I'm very
It's-
guilty. Very, very guilty.
It's so
Like,
hard
what is
sometimes
that
not
person
to.
doing that I'm not doing?
Yeah.
Why am I not getting, you know, the people in my stream like they are? You know, like always just trying to beat myself up. And I do it every day. It's something I need to get out. I need somebody to like knock that out of me because it's not
hard.
helping. Yeah.
And there are going to be some days where you don't compare yourself, but then there are other days where maybe you're
Right.
already going through something, and then you
Mhm.
on top of that see someone like doing the exact same thing as you, but their numbers are like 75, and you're like,
Exactly.
why not me? Am I like a shitty vocalist, or am I just like not fun? Or I totally get that, Norma.
I try to like
Yeah,
recycle that
it's-
energy, because then because I think like anytime someone does something good, you always have like you get excited for them, and a part of you thinks like, one, like, oh cool, I wonder what that's like, and then two, like, oh, like why am I not there? And then like for me, I just take that, like, make sure celebrate that person first.
Yeah, me
Like,
too. Yes.
Put myself in pause for a second, not for too long, because I want to address my own feelings, but like you go like, hell yeah,
That's
like, support
amazing. They're
you,
putting in the
excited.
work. Yeah.
And then take that energy of like why am I not there, and then just recycling it into being like,
Right.
okay, let's add some new goals. Like, cool, this is motivation. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. What's the next thing?
Yeah.
And you know, I have days where I'm like that, where I do what you just said.
Yeah.
And then there are the days where I literally like, I've left stream. I don't know if you guys have done this, but I've literally ended stream because my mental and emotional state was so bad. I was just like, y'all, I got to go. I got to
Oh,
go.
yeah,
I couldn't
I've done
stay on
that.
stream.
I've done that
It
sometimes.
I have days like that where I just have to end and be like, I'm sorry, don't be mad at me, but I've got to go, you know?
Well, to touch on, like, do you feel like you owe them that stream then? Like, we're Canadian,
I
we
feel like
understand
I
things
let-
way too much.
I feel
Yeah,
feel
we're
like
Canadian.
if I go like that, I'm letting them down in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're there to see me, you know, I have a schedule, they know when I'm going to be on, and if I don't make it or I leave, you know, I'm upsetting them, and then I end up getting upset because I don't want anybody to be upset.
Oh
You know?
man, it's like a
Oh.
cycle. It's like a circle.
It is.
But if you were
It
the viewer and someone did the same thing, what would you think? If you were the viewer and someone's like, guy's head's not in the right spot, like,
I
Oh
gotta
no,
go
I
with it.
totally understand that.
Yeah.
Totally. I've had many viewers say, "Hey, you know, I'm just not feeling it today, and I'm just gonna go lay down." And I'm like, "No problem. Love you so much. I'll see you.
Yeah.
You know, you can always message me." I tell my viewers, DM me if you need anything. Please message me. I'm not shutting you out of my life. You know, I will be here for you if you need me. I mean, I'm just that way.
I think
But
that most people. Sorry, go ahead, Kugu.
no, you.
Okay, so I was gonna say, I think that most people as viewers understand that too. That like, you first of all took the jump to hit go live today.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, to then maybe you had a bad day, but you came on to have a good day, but that just doesn't happen. I
Right.
think the viewer understands, like, especially if you're open about it, even if you just like, you're like, you know what, and then you just cut the stream right there. Like, I think that the viewer would understand, like, something's going on. You know, this isn't the time, this isn't the place, and I don't think anyone's gonna pester you because, like you said, Krugler kind of had you flip sides and look at it from the other perspective. Like, you would look at it and go, I understand this isn't it. I don't think anyone's gonna hold it against you, and no one. I haven't met the person or the viewer that's like, you owe me this, you know. And again, another thing that we haven't talked about yet is the monetary side of it,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like maybe they're a subscriber or they've dropped a lot of bits, and they.
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
even then, I don't think that people expect anything, you know.
Yeah.
I think that there is a small expectation for some people, but when it comes to your mental health, especially on Twitch, which I think is very conscious of everyone's self-love and self-care, and the positivity of life, I find on Twitch often. I know there's the dark side too, but I think that everybody understands, you know, especially it's not a personal thing. It's like personal thing to the viewer. It's a personal thing for you. Like, it's just not going to work today.
Yeah.
Although I do want to say, like, you're completely valid in thinking those things and feeling
Yes.
through that, because we all do.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
100%.
if I'm right here, like, I'm Oprah, I'm about to fix your life or something.
100%. Yeah. I do want to say one thing though, and I think that this is just for me. This is not about anyone in particular, but I think for me, those thoughts kind of come up less after I healed a bit more, because we were talking about this offline when I was like, I have issues sometimes about my self-worth, and I think once I kind of figured that up, and I kind of did a drop the mic in my life type of situation when I was like, I don't need anyone. I'm good without all you guys. I'm doing this for fun. Okay. If you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to leave, you can leave. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And I think that helped me just like finding myself again and finding my self-worth helped me have more days where I'm not comparing myself and not feeling bad that I'm not where I want to be. I do have still those days still. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I haven't just figured everything out and solved everything. I have a lot of bad days, but they're definitely less than I had when I first started.
Right. Same here. Same.
Which is awesome. We're making progress, guys. We're making progress.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I still have those new streamer moments where like today I don't can I say the name because it's not it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Felicity came in my channel today, and I lost my mind. It was like
She's
I was a new streamer. I was a new streamer. It was my first couple days of streaming. She came in, and I'm like, Felicity's here.
Oh my God, she's awesome. If you guys don't know,
yes,
who she
I
is.
know she's so busy. She's got so much stuff going on. So just the fact she came in my stream, I was just like flipping. I was flipping.
And that's okay, and that's actually really endearing. That's really cool. That's really cool.
I think that brings up a very interesting point too that I was thinking about, that like to a lot of viewers, just because streamers have the drive to go live and they go live, like they're a celebrity. Like I've had people in the chat, and I know that I'm not a celebrity, but like I've had people, a 15-year-old kid, he ended up, I found that out just from talking to him, come in and he's like, dude, you are the coolest. You are the coolest, man. You're the celebrity to me. And I was like, no, I'm not. He goes, well, to me, you are.
Little one.
And it's like, it's hard to like,
right?
And it's interesting because you're on screen and I've got these cool lights, and that's it. And I play guitar and like, but that connection there is an interesting point too, where it's just kind of like, I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought, but it's an interesting point, where you have to make sure that it's known that like I'm just a dude that just has a computer that just hit go live.
Yes.
I'm not anything special. I'm not anyone special, but I appreciate this time.
Yeah.
That I spend on here.
Yeah.
But expectations of a viewer, I guess, is kind of the if I were to summarize what I just said.
Yeah. I've played Valorant with some people, and then they like find me on Twitch. And then they're like, whoa, 2K followers. Oh my God, you're like a big time streamer. And yes, I'm very blessed that I have 2K followers, but like anyone who knows me knows that I really try my hardest not to pay attention to the numbers. So I'm not looking at them being like, yeah, I made it. Yeah, I made it. I'm just like, I'm happy. That's amazing. That's 2K people that support me and like believe in my dream and want me to like succeed. But I don't think of myself as like this hot shot, like big, first class streamer. And I think for me, that's something that I try to keep in my mind. Like that's a trait I don't want to lose. Like if I ever do make it big, I want to remain humble, and I want to because I think y'all already know, I think humility is sexy. So like, of course I want to be humble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Part of you though, like
I would never change. I'm telling you now. People say never say never. Nope. I will never change. It will be me till the end.
Yeah, I think I'm too goofy to even become cocky. I genuinely feel this way.
put the glasses on and the right song on Twitch things though, and then that
right. That's all you like. You just need to give me a beat and I'll freestyle, and like it will be goofy as hell, and that's the real Ray. So,
but I think you have to make sure you allow yourself to celebrate that stuff too.
100%.
Then like you're just going to the next one, and like take that moment to be like, hell yeah. Like even like you were talking about having someone come in your chat, Norma. I for anyone who doesn't know, I have an almost unhealthy like obsession with reality television. It's bad.
I love it.
If there's a reality television show, I've
Yeah.
probably seen it. It's intense. I had someone from Big Brother Canada like pop in my stream once, and like I almost teared up. I was like freaking out.
That's
He's heavy
cool.
breathing. He was just coming in to say hi, said a couple things, but I had a conversation with him and he left. And I was
That's amazing.
Nice.
oh, so it's like you don't want to like freak out too much, but at the same time, like you hit like whether it's like you hit affiliate or you hit 10 followers or you had a stream with 5 viewers or you had a stream with like a rate of like 2,000 people or something, it's like it's tricky because I want to make sure that it would never come off as like a ha, I got this, but I want it to be more of like a, I
Right.
got this.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So it's
You're
like you gotta
right.
celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think that's important that he mentioned that because when I first started streaming and I hit 1K followers or like 500, I can't remember, one of those, someone's like, oh, what are you going to do to celebrate? And I had this whole spiel that was like, I don't feel comfortable celebrating it because I feel like it makes me feel like I'm doing it for the numbers and I'm like watching the numbers and that makes me feel really strange. But then I can't remember whose stream it was or if it was like a self-reflection moment that I had when I was like, wait a minute, no, you're actually celebrating the people who are those 500 or who are those 1,000.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. So sometimes you just got to go through your own journey to like reframe those things and be like, I'm actually okay with that. I can celebrate it. I'm good with that. I'm not letting it get to my head, but I'm celebrating it as well.
But the thing is that like followership, for instance, is a public number. You know, like people will come to your channel and it's right there, and you've earned it. You know. And I saw
Yeah.
you responded to Pieces, and he said that a friend of his said, hold on, let me go back. A friend who has 300 followers said that that's 300 people who like me enough to hit the follow button. And unless you're already on someone's page, it is not easy to follow someone.
Yeah.
Like it's a couple clicks, but the fact that someone went to your page to follow, whether they've ever shown up or not, that's huge because in some degree they liked you or they trusted someone else enough who shouted you out to come follow you too. And I personally haven't celebrated anything yet, any milestones, but I love that you said and brought it back to that thought where it's like, well, it's not so much a celebration of me, while it is.
Well, it is because I did put in the
of
work. Yeah.
Right. It's a celebration of sharing those moments up to that point with the people that got you there, you know, or the people that have been around
Right.
for a lot of those moments before. And I think that that's so cool.
And also, I
love-
think the courage it took to hit that go live button first. Our
Yes.
first streams,
Yeah.
come on, guys. It was scary.
Yes.
Our first streams was scary or a little like,
God.
oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey,
what am I doing?
Technically, my first stream wasn't even my
Your
stream. I
stream,
didn't even know what Twitch was.
Got thrown
So,
into
like,
it.
So
What am
that's
I
a point
supposed
of
to do?
celebration. That is a point of celebration.
And one thing with that too is like think about that first time and you're about to go live, and I'm sure all of us had it and we still to this day have it, is like you're about to press go live and then you're like, I don't know, should I do it?
Yeah,
I'm scared, I'm
yeah.
nervous. You can say whatever you want. So like there's two options. It's like you don't do it and you never know, and none of us would be here right now. Or you're like, screw it, and you press go live. And I try to remind myself every time I do something that's like scary or out there, if I have to do some big presentation or something, it's like I can live in the world where I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I can live in the world where I did it. And it's like, let's just do it. Like let's just start, because like all the cool people and all the cool things and all of the every time I've laughed or said something dumb that got clipped, like that's stuff that wouldn't have happened before. So you can look back at that, and it's important to celebrate that right way.
Yeah.
Because and the other part of that that's really nice too is if you're celebrating in the right way and someone thinks you're celebrating in the wrong way, then like that gives them a chance to be like, this isn't for me, I'm out. And it's like if we had that major communication error, then it's best for you to find your favorite people,
Yeah.
because we're going to be here celebrating the way that I think.
The way, yeah, exactly.
will
So
say-
I want to. Oh, go ahead.
No, my short thing is I do love celebration streams. That's it. They're so fun.
I love celebrating
to
in
celebrate.
general.
I love celebrating people.
Yeah.
And I love when people celebrate themselves.
Yes.
So, Norma,
Yes.
sorry.
No, it's kind of the same. It's kind of on the same subject. I have giveaways. Okay, I've been doing giveaways a lot, and I've gotten some positive feedback, and I've gotten negative feedback. There are people that apparently don't like my giveaways.
What?
Yeah, there are people that are like,
What's their problem with it? No like.
Well, they're like, and
I'm ready to
not
fight.
This is where I'm not going to say names, but I've had people say, "Why are you giving so many giveaways?" And my response is, "Because I love my viewers and I love my community, and it's my stream." So I mean,
Right.
I'm like,
Exactly. My
it's
stream, my rules.
If I want to have some giveaways every day, I will do that. You know.
Right.
That's so
But
strange.
It's your place. Like,
Just don't type exclamation point giveaway then. And let someone
Yeah, I
else
know.
type.
It's like,
And
just-
move on.
I mean,
like,
it confuses me because this is my way of showing my community and the Twitch community that I love them. I love them. They've been there for me for a year and a half now, you know, and so it's my way of showing them, you know, my appreciation for them.
yeah. And that's how you choose to celebrate them and show appreciation to them.
That is right. Thank you.
And that is
Sylvia.
okay. Everyone has it a different way. You know, some people like to poke their nose where it ain't even belongs. So sometimes I honestly want to use, like, streaming has given me so much courage. And I won't lie to you guys, sometimes in life, like outside of streaming, when I'm afraid to do something, I kind of like encourage myself and hype myself up by remembering that I do something that so many people are still afraid to do. And I broke against, like, I broke that fear in me, and I go live, like, whenever I want to. I do goofy things. I do, like, I'm not afraid to be myself. And I think a lot of us, and I still have moments where I am, but generally speaking, you know how liberating it is to just not care?
yeah.
So streaming has really healed me, and it's really made me just like more true to myself, and I really like that. I have so much to like thank Twitch for.
I love that you said like
Streaming's
you go
made
live.
me more ballsy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So like
I'm not a weeping ball of crap.
I don't think I've ever said this before, but like I had to do a presentation once for school, and it was like after I was like doing some like streaming and such, and like it was going well, and like I actually like drew like the recording button of like slobs like on a piece of paper, and before I stood up, I tapped it. I was like, let's do this. And I went up, like, and did my
Say that again.
presentation and stuff.
Say it again. What?
So I like, cause like I was getting nervous for something, and then in my head I'm like, I for fun to relax I perform. So I was like, you know what? So like I drew the like go live button that was on slobs on a piece of paper, and I pressed the button right before I walked up, and like it helped.
You're a literal movie
love
character, bro. You're the
that.
protagonist of this
What do you mean?
story.
I love
such an
that.
embarrassing thing.
That's like
But
that's
I do
the anime climax moment. That's the anime climax moment where he's like, ugh, and he's like really thinking about like I can't do this, and then the thoughts are going like there's a voiceover, and then he's like, he remembers what he needs to do, and he draws that paper. And
I wish it was that
smashes it.
intense. It was drawing a
we
circle,
can make it
tapping.
that intense. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Sweat was trickling down.
Yeah, exactly. I did want to mention something before when we were talking about lessons, because I feel like this one has been a really big thing for me. As you guys know, when I first started streaming, I was healing. And I was like romantically healing, right? Ellie, thank you so much for that follow. You see that, Raven? That is you. You are now under my wing. Welcome. So I was like healing from a breakup, and it completely shattered me and destroyed me. And it was one of those that like I thought it was gonna end up in marriage, and like we were gonna get engaged, and then it didn't work out, and it like absolutely shattered me. And so I had like very low self-esteem. I was like really broken. I contemplated self-harm, like all of these like terrible things. And I feel like sometimes when people would come into my stream and I would feel they became regulars, and then they became friends, and we started speaking often, I sometimes myself confused that with, not confused, I took that as an opportunity sometimes to get close with the person, and sometimes that resulted in like usually like them having feelings for me, or maybe me having a little bit of feelings for them, even though I wasn't ready. I didn't want it to go anywhere. And I'm getting real with you guys right now, because I feel like it's so important for people to realize that that's normal. It happens, especially when you're healing and you're going through your own process of being broken and rebuilding yourself. But you also need to protect yourself. So if you are choosing to have side conversations with people in DMs, whatever, sometimes you don't know how unstable the person is themselves, and you don't know if they're one day going to use those DMs against you and exploit, you know, your texts, your pictures, your messages, your real stories that you're telling about your personal life. So I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but y'all got to protect yourselves. We got to protect ourselves. So if you are choosing to have a side conversation, always, I know it's hard in that moment, but always look at that message you're about to send and be like, if this ever got out, would I be okay with it? Like, is this something I talk about openly? So if they even try to blackmail me, I'll be fine. That's something that is real. You guys really, like, we need to think about that often. And we all think like, oh, that would never happen to me. But sometimes you never know. You're in a vulnerable situation and someone just says the right things and you fall into that. Not that they're misleading you, but some people don't handle rejection well. So just something to keep in mind. I did want to mention that because I feel like that's very important. And people don't talk about that.
I kind of am like, if any, like I'm kind of like risking the fact that I'm on Twitch because like with me wanting to become a teacher and like every single province is like a little bit different with it. Like one bad out of context clip found by like a student's mom 3 years from now, like could be like game over for me. So like that is absolutely like a valid thing and it's like a trouble. It's a strange thing, but I almost really like that fact for me personally, just because I need to like self-edit. I need to think about this stuff probably for the rest of my life, just because like I can never lose that integrity as like a teacher. So like that's actually, it's so strange because like that is an absolute awful, frustrating experience that you can have where you always have to have that extra barrier. Yeah. But it's like I actually like that part because it reminds me of like this is like a test practice. I've got 3 years. Worst case scenario, there's a really bad clip of me or something. I can hopefully delete it. It's not gone from the world because it's on the internet, but it's like hopefully I can. I'd rather stumble while it's like a stream thing than before it becomes like a professional, like the rest of my life thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't
know. No, it makes sense.
Sorry, Norma. Do you have an alternative? I just got your message. Oh,
I'm responding.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if you had an alternative for your headphones because you said they're dying.
Unfortunately, I don't, because like I had said in the begging, I couldn't find my cordless headphones. They are nowhere to be found.
Oh shoot!
That's why I was upset. I was like, oh god, I gotta use these cordless headphones.
Oh shoot! Yeah, hand them over.
And I just used them for my whole entire stream, so they're probably half dead.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Wrigglers, I'll take those.
I tried.
Thank you.
Arm's not long enough.
Oh shoot! Okay.
I tried to guide it with Mara.
But yeah, that is.
Hey, they lasted an hour and a half. I am super happy.
Yeah, no, that's great. That is really great. Oh, that sucks. So does that mean you would have to dip out?
I'm gonna stay as long as they're working right now, but they're fading in and out. I can, when you got cordless headphones, you can hear them when they start to die. So
shoot. Okay. Do you want to charge? Can you charge them while you're using them, or is that not how it works?
No, I have to plug them. In.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, let's just see how much we can get out of them. Yeah. Sorry. So what I was saying about the whole picture business, and I think that can actually be applied to your own personal life as well. Like when you're texting on your phone, like this conversation I think is bigger than streaming. Same thing applies to people who eventually, like through streaming even or without streaming, get your number and then they have your number. Like just know that when you're taking those steps, like you're kind of inviting them into your personal space, your personal life, and sometimes you never really know how the person will react to you withdrawing from them or choosing to change the aspects of your relationship. To just kind of keep that in mind, guys. I don't want anyone to ever get exploited in any way, and people are nasty out there. They're really, really mean and destructive.
I think it's very easy also, it's depending on what game you're playing, like if you're playing one of those Jackbox type games and then you get people involved, they start to say crazy stuff and they could be like, maybe they know some of your personal information, they start sharing it in that type, it's all like typed on your phone.
That's exactly it. Screenshots, boom, right?
Just right up there. And then also something that I was thinking about was like just different links that you have. I was thinking about creating a Spotify playlist that was just like some of my top requested songs, and then I was like, well, that's gonna link to because it says who created that playlist.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
That's gonna link to my personal account because I think it's connected to my Facebook. So like there are a lot of things that you don't think about being connected to your personal life that someone could go in and be like, well, I just found their Facebook, and if you're public or whatever, like mine's private, so good luck. But there are a lot of precautions that you should take and really think about that one more thing. Like, okay, I'm doing something nice for my community or for the community, but am I also putting myself at risk for the people that really don't give a shit about
And you got to
me,
think about these things, unfortunately, which is like an added stress sometimes, you know?
I didn't. I did that exact thing. So Belle87, she doesn't stream, but she saved my butt so many times. Like for like what she said there. So my
Belle! Oh
cat
my God.
has a like the thing where if he goes missing. And so now before he
Right.
comes on stream, I usually like have to take his collar off beforehand. Because as you guys saw earlier, like he loves the
Oh,
spotlight
we
now.
got on all up in
Or
there.
even before we started, there was that plastic train there, and the reason why I had to remove it, and I grabbed it on stream because like this is a cool thing about my life, and I want to share with you guys. On the back of it, in bright red paint, it's just my first name, my last name, and my name's carved at the top. And I'm like,
Wow.
ugh. And I made a Spotify account one time that like it was linked to my Facebook. I did find a way to be able to remove your name, so it's just a bunch of random numbers. But even then, you never know how it's linked. But yeah, Belle again, just best. Hey, cut that Spotify playlist out because I just saw your last name and I'm like,
Oh my God, no. God.
I know you were talking like that was kind of something we were gonna
Yeah,
cover.
that's
At first,
funny.
I was like, that's never happened to me. And as soon as I saw Belle in chat, I was like, yes,
Wait a
it
minute.
has.
Yeah. I did want to bring up what Dee said earlier. He said he's run into a unique situation. I wonder if you're going to touch on. I found streamers that I liked, but I didn't like the chatters or the jokes in Jackbox were all inside jokes. So it felt impossible to become part of the community. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever had an experience like that, but I can see how alienating that would be for a new viewer. Like if everyone's doing Jackbox and, you know, especially the one where you have to rate the responses. Or like you have to pick which response is funnier. And if you don't get something, you're obviously not going to vote for it. And then you just feel kind of left out. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you're a streamer.
Is Norma gone?
No.
Not yet.
They're beeping in my ear. They're like, beep,
shoot.
beep, beep, beep.
That is like that's a great thing to mention too, because like you want to know like when you're whatever content you're doing, like how is that impacting the people watching it, or like what do you want it to be, what versus what it might be. Like I find Jackbox, and even like I've done this a couple times now that I learned from you, Solar Raven, that like Just Dance game.
Oh, so fun.
Like, so fun.
So
I never even
fun.
considered it as a Discord game, but I like sometimes some are better as like Discord games, and then sometimes some are better as like streams. So it's just like finding the balance. Me personally, I'm too competitive. I'm not going to do an inside joke because I want to try and get like the most.
Ooh, yeah,
win.
yeah.
But,
That's smart.
I see it that way. And like, I love that we're having this conversation now and we can see people's like that we're viewers telling us that, because it reminds me of like, because I started thinking, hey, maybe I want to do a Jackbox stream again. And like, I want to make sure I'm open. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm overlooking them to just talk to my other friend, because then why am I there? I don't want someone to feel that way. So thank you so much for sharing that opinion.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you for that. Another cool thing that I saw in chat that I can relate to as well is Brian said, does this happen to you guys? You are streaming and you're having fun. It's a great time. The stream ends, the lights go out, and it's quiet, and you get this down, empty feeling.
Oh.
Too real. But in the best way, because
Let's
we
hear it,
only
Norma.
keep it real. We only keep it real.
That response right there.
Yeah, Norma, what's up?
That's all I got to say. Yes, many times. Because I'm like, I don't want to go, but I'm tired, but I'm exhausted, but I don't want to go. I want to stay here with them because I'm so happy when I'm with you know, my community. Makes me feel like, I don't know the word. They're so comforting and loving, you know, like, and supportive of me. And when I leave, it's some days it's hard. Some days I have to just go on my Discord and start talking to everybody because I don't want to be away from them. So
sometimes pressing go live or like pressing play is like a way to press pause and everything else. And then when you stop, you're faced with that again, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So
Right back at it.
Can be a lot.
It is an intimidating thing, because it's like you stop and you're watching the person you rated, or you just, you know, or you just stopped, whatever. and then you start to turn off the lights like one by one, like the RGB lights are going off, my front light's going off, and then this light back here is going off, and then I'm like,
It's
man,
so
that was
quiet.
that was a lot of
so
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now, like, I can't wait to do it again. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm exhausted, but I can't wait to do it again. But I'm fortunate. Like, my wife's here usually, and I'll just go start talking to her about it.
Yeah.
And she's so patient with me to like listen to that conversation every time I get done streaming. I'm like, so and so said this, and you know, we were like the song. I think this song went well, or this and that, and I'm fortunate enough to have that. And my dogs, if she's not hanging around, like she's not around today, but we're still together. Just a disclaimer. Nothing's wrong. She's just not here today. But yeah, that emptiness sometimes, like the immediate emptiness.
The immediate emptiness.
Like I leave the room and then she's there, but like I get the immediate emptiness. And I know he said something about Brian said something about like he doesn't have anyone else there with him, and I can only imagine.
He said he lives alone. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine what that's like too. But I get the definite immediate, like, oh man, it's over. Until next time.
Until next time.
Right, right.
I
have a. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're on a certain time limit because your headphones. So
I know. I'm like, I just want to get this question out before my headphones die. Has anybody? Okay, so when you're in a relationship with someone, how do they handle your? Because you know you got fans, female, male, doesn't matter. You got fans that are out there flirting with you and, you know, saying this and that and the other thing. How does your partner deal with that situation?
Franchise with those dimples.
No, I was gonna pass that ladies man Krugler.
I got no one to be frustrated by those comments, so.
Well, I guess I'll speak to my perspective. It looks like
you
got something brewing there, Raven. My wife is so supportive, and I'm so fortunate to have her. Like we support each other. Like it's a very awesome relationship, and she's just like, I feel bad because she's always like, well, you should go stream again.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
I'm like, well, I know what you're saying because she knows that I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, well, I know that you also want to spend time with me, and I want to spend time with her. But on the side of things of like creating relationships with other people, I think at first, as it should be, she was cautious about it.
Yes.
Think like, okay, what conversations are you having on platforms that like she doesn't use Discord? You know, like she's like, what kind of conversations are you having there? And once like I'm completely open and I'll let her read them. Like she's not like trying to come in and read my messages. She's not like that at all. But I'll just be like, yeah, we were just talking about this. And then it got to a point where she's just like, okay, I understand. I mean, she already trusts me because of
your
of our
relationship.
And
and
the strength of the relationship. But if that's not established yet, it's also, even if it is established,
it can be very threatening.
Right.
I can only imagine if the tables were on the other side of things, or if everything was flipped around, I would probably be very cautious about it. Even after I felt, even knowing that I trusted her, it's other people that you don't trust.
Yeah.
To like just get in there and just send a message every now and then that has nothing to do with anything. And then next thing you know, there must be some type of,
or like you feel the need to go into chat and assert your dominance in some way, like that's my man, or like that's my girl. Okay, I totally can see how if you already don't have a healthy relationship where you trust the other person, where it can totally work against you, because especially if you're listening to the other person having this amazing time, right, and then they come out of that room and they're not as like jolly with you and they're not laughing as much as they were laughing in that room, and you start to feel like, wow, am I not funny? Like clearly you like them more than you like me, and you start doubting yourself and then your relationship with them, and you're like, why did you respond to them in that way? Why are you flirting with them? So like I think a person like me, I'm flirtatious in the sense that like I call everybody scrumptious and stuff, but it's not like actual flirting. You really gotta like know me, and I know that's gotten me in trouble before, because people would automatically feel like I was flirting with them, like I want something from them, and I'm like, bruh, chill. No, I'm not
you're
into
hyping,
you like that.
not
Yeah, I'm just like trying to make you feel good about yourself. Like, be happy, be cool, because like I feel that way about you. But I know there's some people who like mistake that. So they're, oh guys, speaking of, you know what I hate? I don't know if this happens to you guys. yo, my wifey's streaming right now, though. I'm not your wifey, okay? I'm
I
not.
hate when they call me wifey.
I'm not, though. Like, I'm not your wife.
Yeah.
I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not your whatever thing. Like, I'm not, though. It's so frustrating. It's like people feel the need to like claim you in some way, and it's kind of disgusting. So sorry, guys. Please don't do that. Like, it's not cool. I don't like that. She even said that's different because you have that relationship with them, Brian, and they're okay with that. I don't like when people come to my stream and they start calling, like, claiming me like they're my husband in some type of way. I'm not like that. I don't like those kind of jokes. So clearly you don't know me if you're joking like that with me.
Right.
But I know if I was in a relationship with someone, I would need to establish trust with that person first. We would need to have that kind of relationship where they know I'm the type of person to get a little smidge flirty, but they should know my character. Like, I don't mess around. Like, I don't actually mean anything by that. And I know my limit, and I know to draw that limit, and I would never hide my relationship. Like, if I was in a stable, long-term relationship with someone, like we're actually a couple, I would not pretend like I'm not in a relationship. I would like reference them often. I would make it known that they're part of my life. And I think that would give them some security as well.
I want to pose a question.
Because... Oh, go ahead.
Nope, you go. You're on the time limit.
No, you go ahead. It really wasn't that big of a deal. Go ahead.
Well, okay. My
Canadian
question was going to
standoff,
be
I love it.
posed towards Norma and Raven. Have you guys experienced something where someone acts a certain way in your chat, and then you go to someone else's stream, and I guess I'm speaking more on the gender side of things, where like you guys are the females, and obviously I don't get that same experience, but have you experienced that where like maybe the same person in someone else's chat that has the same type of content that is a male? Have you seen something where you're like, you come into you're a completely different person when you're in my chat versus someone else's?
Wait. Say that
Right,
again.
or-
Say that one more time.
So are you people will be in your chat and they'll talk to you a certain way, and you'll see that same person in another chat of a male, for instance, a male streamer, and they act a completely different way, or their conversations, the topics are completely different. I feel like there's got to be some difference, right?
Actually, what I don't like is when I see them talking to me in a certain way and like being like, "You're my one and only," and all of this, and then I see them in someone else's chat and they're like, "You're my one and only. I love you so much," and I'm like, "Ew, you're so weird.
Again.
Stop this."
Preach again, Solo
It's
Raven.
not like I
Preach
believed you in the first place, but like, why are you talking like that? No, it's so weird. Do you know how silly you look? You know? You think I won't
Whole side
notice?
I've never experienced. That's scary stuff.
I have that all. Look at Poppin' Buckets. Poppin' Buckets.
Coming up in here stirring trouble. Hi, Poppin' Buckets.
That is something that I deal with a lot, actually. A lot. I see that a lot in my no names.
Right,
but
right,
yeah,
no
I get that a
names.
lot. I get that a lot.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I've been in female streamers chats where I'm like, you would never say that
Right.
in my stream. What's wrong with you?
I think for me it's
Why
the
would you
wifey
talk like
comments
that?
and things like that. But other than that, I'm very fortunate. Like, I haven't gotten a lot of people coming in. I think it's also because of the content that I have. Like, if you're looking for a space to speak in that manner, you're probably not coming to a space like mine. You know what I mean?
Well,
Or you might
also, I
stop
think-
by and like dip because it's not that kind of place.
I feel like if you get the personality that you let people know right away too, though. Where there's some where it's like they'll
True.
just accept it because they don't know how to say like, don't say that, or like, don't refer to me that
Right.
way, or
Yeah.
don't like, I don't want to be addressed that way, or I don't want to talk about that thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I gotta
I
agree
know-
with Norma. Like, streaming has really made me ballsy in the sense where I always had a difficulty like standing up for myself, and sometimes my mods even like I tell them, I'm like, don't interfere when people are like crossing the line. Of course, if they're outright saying something disrespectful, like, get rid of them. But if they're saying something like my wifey, my girl, whatever like that, let me handle it, because I'm training myself too, because I still struggle with that. And like, I want to build that part of my personality where like I'm able to defend myself and I'm able to like tell people how I want things. And I think that has definitely improved over time. When I first started streaming, I think I was too timid to say like, that's inappropriate, don't talk like that. But now I think because I don't care if they leave, I don't care if their butt hurt. Like, I'll just say it.
And like this is a good like time to talk about it too. Like one thing I genuinely appreciate, and I never want anyone to feel like they have responsibility in chat to like do contribute or anything. But like sometimes when you end up in uncomfortable situations and like, or even if when you're the viewer, if you see someone being uncomfortable, like change the like what I appreciate when people change the topic or they comment on something different, and it gives me a chance to like get out of that conversation, keep things moving, and like you can never address it like really. I mean, you can. It's your stream, but like you can. I truly appreciate when people acknowledge that in chat and try and help you get away from that topic
true.
so that you can get comfortable again. Like people like donating, awesome, like subscriptions, follows and stuff, like genuinely amazing. But like when some people do that, like
It's like helping you
get
out.
yeah, you don't get like a visual alert, but there's like an emotional alert here that's just like, thank you.
Yes. I will say Too Pretty for Condoms does that often.
1000%.
He is in the chat here. He is great at talking about something, and then if it's, you know, you can
Like
see when the streamer,
segueing
looks,
away.
Yeah, when the streamer like looks over to read chat for a second, and they are trying to go like, okay,
Processing.
how am I supposed to respond to this? And then someone else in chat just goes
Deals with it. Yeah.
like, oh, where are you from? And then it completely like, and they target it at that person, so it just like completely redirects the conversation, and nobody has to address it if it's like not if it's like against the rules. It's just an awkward thing to say, you know, in the chat, or if it's a troll, you know.
Oh, Norma, I can just. Oh, she can't hear me. I'm just telling Norma. Please keep your cam on. But you can cover it. Yeah, she said she'll be in chat, but if you want.
Oh.
Totally whatever you're comfortable with.
Bye, Norma.
I don't know if she's leaving or she's choosing to stay. But
bye from chat.
But the Casey Jones also said something like, when we were talking earlier about mental health and like taking care of yourself, I just wanted to not overlook their comment because it was a really good one. They said that's being a good viewer too, when you're understanding that streamers are people who have priorities, they have needs outside of Twitch. And Willow says if you go to a streamer often, it's because you like them and you care for their well-being, so you will never hold it against them if they need a break. And I wanted to say shout out to both of you because that was really, really a good contribution to the conversation, so thank you for that. I don't know though. I don't think she can hear at all though, so she said that she was just going to be in chat.
Well,
yeah,
something else, I guess just on the same topic, where you kind of try to, if we try to figure this out, maybe I just think that as a viewer you can really have an effect on the streamer, and I try to take, again, I approach everything with positivity, and I like how Krugler you use the statement like you recycle things and rethink a negative situation, how can you flip it to be positive. And I always try to approach every situation, whether I'm in a new person's chat or someone I know's chat, I want to talk about what other people want to talk about. And because some people like to come into chats and talk about themselves the whole
oh
time.
my, that is so annoying. So annoying.
And it's like, I would love to address whatever's going on, you know, but if the whole stream becomes about that topic, then it's kind of like, oh my gosh.
Exactly. A little bit is fine, contribution's fine, but when the whole thing is literally about them, I think
I struggle with that because I hate small talk. That's not for me. Like this type of long conversation, love it. Getting energy from it, absolutely adore it. So like, and we've all been in that case where like someone's like, hey, what's up? And like, you're ready to go, not much you for like the 4th time in a row. And you kind of go like, oh, why did I do that? Like that's not fun. And so like when I'm a viewer and someone's like, what's up? I always try and say something. And then sometimes it talks a little bit about that, but then I'm like, oh no, like I'm talking too much about myself. So I'll throw in a little comment being like, ooh, cool song. What's that? I was like, okay, let's just try and throw it back. I was like, oh no, what am I doing? But I need to, one thing I need to learn still is just
breathe, just go with the flow. And sometimes the streamer is constantly asking you questions, right? I know I do that when someone comes into my chat and they're like, they give me a piece of information, I extrapolate off of that, and it could seem to other people like, wow, they're taking over Raven's stream, but I am asking them questions, so they're gonna respond, right? So
Yeah, I think it's a problem when they're responding to the streamers' things. It's when they come in and like you ask, "How's your day?" and then the
it
chat
just
becomes the day.
paragraphs and paragraphs and
Yeah.
paragraphs.
And again, just like a disclaimer, like I have no problem talking about people's day.
Yeah.
I love making people's day better or letting people vent, whatever. There's time and place, and then that's what the whispers for. That's what joining the Discord's for, to really like get into that.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to have a full-on conversation with someone that's struggling.
Yeah.
While you're on camera, and then
That's actually a good
you have to wait
point.
for the response, or they have to wait for your response.
Because one video I've actually watched multiple times. It should honestly be something when you become a streamer and it's a necessity to watch. It's do we have like a command to shout out like Solo Raven's YouTube channel?
Oh.
That one of like cutting people. I love how you were like you trusted me like, oh, me?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, who's this video?
The like cutting people out of your life or whatever. It's because like
Yeah.
I run into this so much, and it's something I never thought. It's never something I've never signed up for, and I'm not a professional. But I think Josh, you're ENFP. Solo Raven, are you like?
Shoot, I'm
ENFP?
something like that.
Okay, it's close. I just feel that energy.
Yeah.
We're neighbors.
Each other.
Yeah. That like for me, like I get energy off other people and I want to help, and like my problem sometimes is I can help too much, and like I love that video because you're like sometimes you got to cut it, and it's nothing to do with them, and you hope they don't take it personal, and if they're truly like your friend or something like that, someone that like is worth your time and you value them, then they'll understand and they'll back off. But there's times I met someone for the second time and they're telling me these really like terrible things that are happening to them, and you want to address it, be like, okay, I understand what you're going through, but like I'm not a professional, seek help. And like people think because you're completely
the therapist,
yeah, and like that's not good on me, because me personally, I'm holding on to that the whole time and being like, did I say something wrong? Should I said something better? Maybe
did
I'm
I
gonna go do some more
contribute
research
to their extra mental health issues?
For me, I want to do extra research and find like better solutions, but then I'm like, I don't want to go message them again because maybe they're having a good day and let them. And then I'm like, wait a second,
I don't need to.
Who is this person?
Yeah. Who are you?
Really though.
I think, and that goes kind of back to what I was saying earlier, where like some viewers view streamers on a platform.
Yes, that's true.
And
actually.
I'm not saying everybody does, but sometimes it's like they think you are the expert, and because you asked how they are, that you're the person that's gonna solve it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be that, because I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to love themselves. And if I could be a part of that solution, I would love to. But sometimes it's so hard to like. Really, hold on. This guy wants to be a part of this solution.
Oh, hi, little one. Oh
here,
my
buddy.
God, you're
gonna give us
so
that side eye?
scrumptious.
Yep. I think it's dinner time.
Oh,
But at the same
I
time,
agree with that.
I also want to be like, I don't want to like my friends to think like they can't come to me if they have a bad
Right.
day.
It's
So
so hard finding that balance.
Because I will always appreciate someone feeling like they can trust me.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you don't know someone, there's that disconnect where like
Yeah.
you're friendly with them, their stream thing. You think like this is a perfect person to talk to because I know a little bit about them. I hopefully know that their intentions are pure with it. And like, but they're disconnected enough that like I've got nothing to lose to share this information.
Yeah.
But it's
I
like,
think
what?
the other issue is sometimes with me, especially, I've realized that there's definitely a quota for how many people I can be talking to, like, ever. So sometimes I feel like I encourage people to message me if they're going through things, but then with that comes the expectation that I'm going to respond on time, which I don't and I won't, because I just have other things going on in my life. It's kind of what Norma mentioned earlier. If we're not streaming, like if I'm not streaming, I'm usually working on stream stuff. And like, no offense, but stream stuff kind of takes priority for me in my life, because that's just the bread and butter for me and my happiness. Like, it makes me happy working on projects and things like that. So when I need to speak with someone about their personal issues, as much as I want to help them, it's a whole thing. Like, I got to really get in my empathetic state of like understanding. I don't like to give surface level, like, that's so sad, I'm so sorry about that. Like, I really want to like feel what you're going through. And if you need my help, let's get solutions together. And I realized that it's not an everyday thing for me. Like, I really need to be in the right mindset to help someone, because sometimes I'm not having a good day. So how can I help you if I'm
Yeah.
not doing okay? Right? And I think there's a lot of people that won't be able to understand that. And if you're not there for them when they need you, they will automatically take that, like, you say you're there for people, and like you claim to be this person, and like I thought I could trust you with this information, and you said I could message you whenever I wanted, but you weren't there for me. And it's like, I don't need that extra stress. I can't handle it.
And I find
I
too,
can't.
if someone cares more about getting a response like quickly, like why aren't you there talking to me, instead of getting like, if something is a major issue, and if I need time to think about it, or I need to be in the right headspace to be able to help you out with the problem, if you're dealing with that problem and you're coming to me for help, then I would assume that you would want the quality answer, not like the
Quality.
type answer. And if you want the immediate like answer, then you don't want help, you want my attention. And I'm not going to give you that attention at that time because I need to put it towards myself or other things.
That's deep. I didn't even think of
Right.
that, but that's true. When I want someone's like, I need you right now, I want their attention.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if I really needed it solved, I would go to like a professional, or I'd go to someone who I know is available and can help me at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
like,
is
again,
so
like,
well put.
If they give you the time to think about it, or if you say like I can't right now, for my close friends, like I will, like I'll take that time and I'll help you out when I can. But if they're not willing to wait for that,
Yeah.
then they didn't want it anyway.
It's like, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. We're all responsible
Yes.
for our own happiness. That is so good. Welsh, I really like that. We are all responsible. We cannot look at other people to fix us. I think a lot of us do that, and that is so unhealthy. I know it's
Yeah.
a hard trap to get out of, a hard hole to get out of, but bro, like at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own happiness. You are responsible to fight your own demons. Like, you can't expect people to play that role of like the savior in your life. We
Right.
all have our own demons that we're fighting every day. Some of us have difficulty waking up to get on with our day. Some of us have dealt with like abusive relationships, or come from abusive households, or have been sexually assaulted, or we just have very low self-esteem. Like, people are going through their own troubles. So for you to put that on someone else, like, you need to fix me, or like, you need to solve my problems, frankly, it's kind of selfish. And second of all, it's you not respecting them as an individual person, to acknowledge that they also have struggles of their own that they're dealing with, you know?
And I think like the three of us are very empathetic people. We need to flip that around too and think like, I can't allow myself to rely on someone else's happiness.
Yes.
Like, they have to, at some point you can push them off the nest, but they're the ones that need to flap their raven wings.
Yeah, fly away.
Yeah. So it's like, I think like that's something that I struggle with, and I found that out through streaming. That like if I'm here for you and I'll support you, and even like it may be like you just don't have the energy yet to actually change, and take your time, do what you need to. You're choosing what's hopefully best for you, or at least making the best decision you have in that moment. But I just need to remind myself that like if I got class in 10 minutes, I got class in 10 minutes, and like unless it's like there's situations where you do need to step outside and be there for someone. But I'd say I need to constantly remind myself that I'm responsible for my happiness, but I'm not responsible for other people.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
As much as we want to be, because that's just the kind of person we are.
Yeah,
And that's why I was
really
saying,
wanna
like,
be-
it's so hard to find that balance, because you're like, I really want to help out this person. Like, someone came into my chat the other day and they were like, you know, they were going through something and they heard that I was going through something. So they're like, you know, if you ever want to take this offline, like, we can talk about this. And as soon as I said that, you know, implementing the lessons I was talking about earlier, like private DMs and all of that, I'm just not comfortable with that. So I made that very clear. I was like, honestly, I don't have time for offline DMs. And, you know, whatever you want to say, like, you're more than welcome to say it here or in my Discord. Shout out to my Discord. I have a channel that's called Let's Get Deep, and it's people just like put all sorts of things that they're struggling with, like internal struggles, depression, whatever they're struggling with. They talk about it in there. And I understand too that sometimes they don't feel comfortable talking about it in public in front of people, and they just want to have a one-on-one with me or a one-on-one with someone else. But it's what Pisa said. Like, he said, they said that if 10 people are talking in their chat, like, they can't handle it. It's about knowing your limits. It's about knowing what you can handle. And I just don't think that I can handle private conversations, you know? And I shouldn't feel ashamed about that. Like, I shouldn't be made to feel ashamed about that.
No, absolutely not. I think something that's interesting that I just did recently, I streamed this weekend, and it was probably the first time I put the guitar down and just talked for a little bit. Because again, it comes to the content thing. Like, are people here to see me play or to listen to me play, even though I'm pretty boo-boo? Or are they here, for me? Like, what's the thing? And I just sat down and talked, and am realizing right now that, viewers see you for what you let them see. And I haven't sat here and talked about my personal life. I haven't sat and talked about like anything really deep. And it's not that I don't want to. I just haven't had, nobody's like asked or nobody, that discussion hasn't come up. So people don't see that side of things, I think. And at times it's like, well, they seem to be perfectly fine. They're okay.
Yes.
So they can listen to what I have to say. And I don't know if people are expecting a response, but it's like, well, they're just playing a game or they're just playing music and nothing's wrong, nothing's going on. They seem just fine. So, I don't know, maybe if I bring up my situation, they can make me feel better.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times that works because the community that I think a lot of us have, at least the four of us have, can be very uplifting.
Yes.
At times.
Very uplifting.
And it's like, it's so nice to stream sometimes because it's like, well, we could have this conversation in Discord, but I want you to hear what I'm saying rather than read what I'm saying and try to figure out how I said it. And I think that wall of just like what viewers see versus what they know about you. Whereas like, if we talk offline, you may know that I have this and this going on while I'm streaming. Maybe something's happening in my family or something's happening at work or financially, like I'm struggling and like this is what I'm going to because I need money. That's not the case for me, but I know that the list is endless of what someone's dealing with.
Yep.
Even though they're up here smiling, having a conversation with you as a streamer.
You don't know what demons they're fighting. You don't know what struggles they're having in their life. And that's why I think essentially it's so good to just be kind to people because you really never know what people are going through. And I know that even sounds cliche, but it really, like, empathy and kindness is really dying in the world. And I feel like we got to bring it back, man. It's not a trend. It's a lifestyle.
Hey. It's something to look forward to.
It's something to look forward to.
I don't know.
I try. I love a good metaphor. That's why I thought I wanted to be an English major until I didn't like essays. But like for me, it's like what you see. Like right now, the bed is like kind of mostly made. But I'm like, what you see is half my bed, and there's times only half my bed's made because I'm just not feeling it. And so like if my stream ends here, it's like this is what you get to see. But like that other half of the messy bed, that's on me. Like this is a real chat. I'll get real. It's like
real.
Not too long ago. You guys would have seen me because it's like the one time I actually wore a spiffy shirt on Twitch things. It was like I had a cousin pass away, and we were going to a like a celebration of life event and stuff like that. And for me, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in my head right now. I'm just gonna press go live, and I know Twitch things will be fun and like it's gonna be a good time, and it was. And it's like, I guess, to us talking about how like some people are like trying to reach out because like Josh said, like people are they for what they see everything looks good.
Yeah.
Like what they see is I'm wearing that nice shirt, but they're not seeing the context as to why I am.
Yeah.
And so if they think they can take like my bowl's empty right now, like
gotcha. Like they're trying to get some of that
me.
positive vibes from you, thinking you have like everything figured out prim and proper when you're like just trying to get by yourself.
Yeah. But like and all of this too, it's like if I say anything and you're worried that like I'm talking about you, if you're worried about it, it's not about you. Do not worry. Like I absolutely like adore what you're doing in chat. If you like know it's you, like know that it's a problem that you're actively doing
right.
But like I'm so like when you first mentioned one time you're like, oh, I want to get you on a real talk. Part of me is like, I'm so worried because I might say something and then like some people might try and like they hear that and then they think how they fit in that context. They're like, oh no, I'm doing this.
I'm that person. He's talking about me.
At first it's like, yeah, like I don't know, we'll see. And then like once she said it was like this topic, I was like, I like this because I get to like to say it. But anyone in chat, if you're like, oh no, do I do anything? No, you're good.
Or maybe this is an opportunity. Like, if you truly feel like you
Yeah.
fit in that category, you can always reach out to Krugs or any of us and be like,
Yes.
I think I'm kind of guilty about doing this, and I'm sorry if I made you feel like that or whatever it is. Like, this is a great opportunity for you to like move past that in your friendship if that's something that you think you struggle with or something that you've taken away from this conversation. I think that's something good too.
And I was there for that stream, that Krugler stream that he was just talking about, and I don't know if I had the context until afterwards, but I had some context beforehand, I think, as to like something, you know.
Yeah. I'm
And
sorry
I
about your
didn't go.
cousin, by the way, Krugs.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And I didn't go into that stream thinking like I need to cheer up Krugler. I went as like I'm going to support a friend.
Yeah.
You know, he's online. I'm just gonna go say what's up, like I always do, or when I can, I do. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When I like that you said when you can, because I got worried for a second. I was like, oh no, I put that pressure on you.
No, and I don't. I
See,
don't
we're
feel that
starting to
pressure.
reflect. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as a streamer, I've learned, you know, like I know different people are different. So like some streamers are like spiteful that like you haven't come to each one of the chats, but no, it's not like that at all. So anyways, I was at that stream and I couldn't tell, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I knew, but I couldn't tell. But I saw as the stream went along and like people started showing up and it was just like a normal Krugler stream and it was the environment that he had built. And like just to see his face light up throughout and by the end of it and to hear that like the impact that it had on him, that his the family that he's built that shows up, and even some new people I think had come in, but like the atmosphere that lived in chat alongside the content that he was creating with us or for us was amazing. And that's the impact that a good chat and good chatters can bring to a stream to help. And you won't even know, because I knew in a sense that something was going on, but I had no idea. And man, I've had streams like that too, where it's like you guys would have no idea that I was feeling some type of way, but by the end of it, I'm like, damn, I'm so glad that I did this, because I got, even just talking, even just like doing the routine of like of streaming, and I say routine loosely, like it's obviously never predictable, but just to have that and everything to change so drastically, you know, in a moment is such a cool and unique thing to Twitch.
Yeah. I think what's important to keep in mind as a viewer, and I guess this ties into another one of my questions about how to become a better, like a healthier viewer, is to the metaphor I give is like you're entering someone else's home. So as much as I say my stream, my rules, it is like my house, my rules type of situation, meaning if I'm asking for you not to use certain words and you're coming in and using those words because you can use that in other streams, that's you blatantly being disrespectful. And that's obviously going to piss me off or make me feel some type of way, right? So I think to be a healthier viewer, well, ultimately be kind and be empathetic.
Yeah.
Remember this person is a human being that has their own things going on, right? And then the my house, my rules types of situation, like follow, you're in their home, like respect their space. You don't know what this space means to them. You don't know how much they treasure this space. And like, for example, my stream is like my haven. So if you come up in here and you spew nasty comments and toxicity, like it's just not tolerated. And sometimes I have days where I'm able to fight it and it doesn't bother me. And then there's some days where I'm also affected by those things. Or if I'm, playing a game and there's toxicity in there, it actually affects me. Like it makes me feel really sad. And I don't know. I would hope that I've never been a bad viewer, but like, I don't think it's really hard being a healthy, supportive, good viewer. Like, do you guys have any tips that you would suggest for people?
I know one thing for me, and I think like a lot of people here probably have interacted with Twitch things at some point. It's when I first started, because I was so new to streaming too, if I liked someone singing, like boom, they get the heart. Boom, they get the heart. I'm following all these people.
Yeah.
Maybe I've never seen them stream before. And so I took the question of like how to be a healthy viewer is like how to like not get stressed as a viewer too.
Mm-hmm.
So like I recently, and like I'm sure you're fine. It was like I turned off notifications just for Twitch in general, and it actually changed everything for me.
Wait, what does that mean? Notifications, like
So
alerts?
yeah, because like when I followed so many people on Twitch things in
Oh,
the
I see what you're saying.
beginning,
When they go live. When they go live.
yeah,
Oh.
and like sometimes it would be a lot of stress, and like there was so many people that had the alerts that like I'd see and I'm like, oh, I'm not like I'm kind of busy. I don't really remember who some of these people are. And then like they get like matched up with a bunch of lists of people, and like one of them is a friend that I really like. But then I realized I get their Discord messages anyway. So like I was getting that stress from Twitch.
Oh
And
my
again, Twitch as a
God.
business, it's always trying to say, hey, remember Twitch, remember Twitch, remember Twitch. And so for
Your
me,
phone's
sometimes I
blowing
want
up
to read a book.
constantly.
Yeah. So I realized like I took that off, and I was like, anyone that I want to know if I'm like if they're live, like I'll probably see on like a Discord message. And then outside of that, like that made it so I'm not always like, oh, I should hop back onto Twitch. And so when I'm on Twitch now, although I do miss some streams, which is unfortunate, because I look back, I'm like, oh, that was fun. I wish I was there for that. Like the fact that I have that bit of a break now, I don't feel like I always have like a leash connected to Twitch.
Yes.
It lets me enjoy my downtime. So that way, if I'm like, you know what, like Big Brother
Let's see
live
who's
feeds are
live.
boring.
Let's
Yeah,
see
let's
who's
go to
live.
Twitch.
Yeah.
And then so if I'm there, like I'm in chat, I'm happy, and I'm there because I was like, I want to be there.
I
Not
had
like
some time to
let's try
kill.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you open up Twitter, you scroll for a bit, and you leave again. Now Twitch is becoming more of like a Netflix, where like I'm sitting down, getting my snacks, and I'm comfortable,
Yeah. Yeah.
and now let's
Chill.
watch this person go. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
that
Pieces
really helped.
Sorry.
Oh, I just said that really helped me.
Yeah, Pieces was saying that almost that exact thing earlier in the stream, and I agree because I've almost limited myself now to Twitter, which is a lot of exactly what I want. And I will first and foremost say I don't appreciate toxicity, and I don't think anybody has a tolerance for it. But some people are still toxic, but they don't like it in return. So I guess what I'm saying is like I feel, and I'm not ignorant to the toxicity and all the crap that people say that's real ignorant on Twitch, but I think that Twitch is this platform where everybody can be themselves, and it's like a judgment free zone, you know. And I know that there are the people that come in and they want to do that, which I don't get. Why are you purposefully seeking someone out to
Bring them
put
down? Yeah, I don't get it.
And it's like, why? If you don't like it, then just leave. I know. I feel like that's all I've talked about is if you don't like it, just leave. But like, it's so easy to go into someone's stream and be like, "Yo, this sounds awesome," or "I love that poster you have in the background," or "I like something," you know, or just hi. But
it's not hard.
It is the easiest thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
And that's also what I love about Twitch is that you can just go into someone's thing and be like, "What's up?" And the difficult part as a viewer is to be ignored. I feel like there's been times where I've like tried to communicate with other chatters or the streamer.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm all about, and I thought about this because I wanted to speak about it specifically on this real talk, was that people ask questions on Twitter or they'll ask questions on Facebook that are like they want input, and then when provided input, they liked my comment, and that's where it ends. And it's like, you wanted input, and I gave you a valid response, and I left the conversation open.
Oh,
it wasn't like a yes or no thing. It was just like, I want to talk about this too. You seem interested. I want to talk about it too. And then it's like
dead.
And it's like, and that happens in the Twitch chats too sometimes, where it's just like, oh yeah, that's cool, and then move on, and it's.
Oh, I've actually been in situations like that too. How do you guys deal with that? Do you just leave?
Well, I think to me that solely depends on if it's someone that I already know.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. If I'm new, I think I would dip.
Yeah, that's that situation where it's like, well, I can already tell that like it's just not gonna work, or, you know, and it's harsh to say that, but there's so many people and there's so many content creators on Twitch that it's like you're gonna stumble upon someone else purposefully or accidentally that is completely in line with you, completely like understands where you're coming from, and that is going to make you a better person ultimately. Yeah. And that's what I always want to better myself, but I enjoy bettering other people, and that's why I like to be a chatter too, is because I want to have those conversations that streamers are capable of having while creating whatever content they are, and then also creating banter within the chat where it's, you know, it's fun, it's uplifting.
Yeah.
And I think as a streamer, like, we can give them the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, maybe they just didn't see my comment or whatever it is. But if it like constantly happens and they're just not responding, or they're asking questions here and there, but then you're responding to them and like they're not saying anything back in return, I think instead of throwing a fuss and like making this whole scene, just click the X and get on out of there. Skit scat diddly do. You know?
Yeah.
Real quick, I do see a lot of people in chat doing like saying nice things or interacting with me.
Oh my God,
and, like,
yes.
At this very moment, and like I got a clicky keyboard, and I want to be present and active in what they have to say, and like, so I apologize personally.
Yes.
If there's anyone in chat being like, I just said the nicest thing ever about Krugs, and he's there going.
I did write. I wrote down
Me
some
too.
questions from earlier.
I'm
and I was
very
like,
behind
"Oh,
in chat, so I'm very sorry, you guys.
Yeah.
I always get behind in chat because I don't like to be focusing too much on chat while they're talking, because I can't multitask very well. I can't listen and type and like give you guys a proper. Always behind in chat, ain't that the truth? So that's why like I'm trying to like give them the respect of my full attention. But I do see you guys going off in chat, and I like it. So thank you.
I do actually really like that. This is like a time where we can kind of say like what we appreciate when we're a streamer as a viewer, or when we're a viewer what we appreciate as like a streamer, because you never really have time for that.
Yeah.
There's that conversation never really comes up. Like Rega was saying earlier, they're like, I always jump in and I
With a
always have like a compliment. Rega's compliments also, like, that is a skill. Like completely boost your day. And like that, I was worried earlier because when we were talking about people like being like, "Oh, what's up?" Like just kind of like Rega always comes in like, "Look how handsome he is." And it's like, no,
I
like
like that.
Rega can always like say nice things and completely change my mood sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I genuinely appreciate that. And you don't have times to say stuff like that, but sometimes people, I think, they're in a chat and maybe they're like, they just see someone like gift a bunch of subs, and like sometimes you're like, oh man, but like comments or like, again, I brought it back up, like clips. People don't realize if there's something that you think is funny and or you really appreciate or you think could be taken out of like clip, just press that button, because I get to see what someone enjoyed, so like I can say like, oh, okay, they kind of like that, I enjoyed that time too, I can create more content like that.
Yes.
You just have a joke, and like that's the like maybe you guys do it too. Every once in a while you go back and you look at your clips and you get to appreciate how far you've grown. And
they make you
so
laugh.
like that's one like I think as an opportunity to talk about it, if I'm a streamer and someone clips, I think that's cool, because I think like they like me, they really like me. But also it's just like cool, like they responded with something, they find it funny, and I can go back later and like like if you guys feel like you want to participate and you don't think financially, like just you being in chat, 1000%, that's above and beyond. But like clips or like compliments, or a big thing too, if someone like comes in and because I'm busy or like I'm playing a song or something, that like when I see like Too Pretty for Condoms is great at it too, like if I'm like playing a song, I can't chat, like he'll ask someone, how's your day?
Slay does that so too much. And I
I'm almost like
appreciate
my friends are becoming friends.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, shout out to the and especially shout out to the mods, but
I was about to say, shout out to the mods.
Shout out to the just chatters.
Yep.
And there's like, I feel like mod love is huge. Obviously, they do so much for us as streamers, but also there's some people that don't have any responsibilities, and they come and show up on the reg, and they are always positive, and they've always got great things to say, or they've always got great conversations to have, and that is so awesome, because then that creates more content and more conversation for us as a streamer to talk about, you know.
And I do want to mention something that Krug said about like donations and bits and things like that. I know there are people out there that might have more family responsibilities or financial responsibilities than others, and they might not, you know, be able to monetarily contribute or financially contribute to their favorite streamer, but they want to support them, they want to be there for them, you know, they're always present making clips and stuff. I want to second what Krug said. Those clips that you guys make, the comments that you share, like the good positive vibes that you come in with, and you just being there, enjoying the game, enjoying the content, and being there, like you really makes a difference. Even if you're not contributing in a financial manner, or you're not able to give bits or donations or whatever it is, that's not what this is all about. I know there are a lot of streamers out there that do feel that way, and they're just like, you can't give $5. Oh my god, you should be
I've seen
able to
that
give
clip.
that
Are
to
you
your
talking about a specific clip?
yes.
I've seen
That's the them problem, and I would highly recommend. But I'm not gonna talk about that. You can do whatever you want, but this is not that kind of stream. None of us, Norma, Krugs, and Franchise, we don't run streams like that. So we appreciate you as a person, not as a vending machine that's here to like pump out dollars and bits and whatever else donations. We literally just want your support, your you just being there, you just chilling.
And like what I first said too is like, if you're on here to like, you like, hey, I need some money, this is what I'm doing, like,
Right.
this is my only opportunity or something,
Right.
get that money, have fun, do your thing. But again, it's like a lot of that miscommunication or like bad feelings or like just like that stress can come from not acknowledging why you're here, what you're
Yeah.
doing here. And so
Yeah.
if someone's in chat right now and they're thinking like, man, like I'm gonna make it big and I want this to be my actual income to help my family or something, we're not putting that down. It's just with
I think it's the way
that
you
our
go
energy-
about it. Like, if you're gonna be
Yes.
rude about it and be like, how can you guys be here for so long? I'm providing you prime quality content. You know, people pay for this on Netflix. This is a talk
Yeah.
show on like, on certain websites that you have a subscription fee and this and this. Like, don't go about it like that. You can literally just be transparent about it and be like, listen, I lost my job due to COVID. I have no other means of making money. I want to put on a good show for you guys. And if you like it, I would really appreciate any kind of support that you can provide, a sub, donation, bits. Like, I think that's real. And I respect that over someone who pressures their viewers to chat. Be like, there's 25 of you in here and you can't give $5 each. God, I'll do the math right here. That would give me this much money. Like, just don't be like that. That's just trashy.
I think that it's interesting, and I think that transparency is an issue for some because talking about financial situations is very, depending on your culture, maybe is frowned upon to talk about financials, and maybe that's why that's the case. But I love I love transparency.
I
in
love
any situation.
transparency.
It's
Refreshing.
It's so key to like good, healthy relationships on
All
every
kinds.
level.
Yep.
Yeah, even if it's just like in passing, like it's a great relationship if you're just transparent with someone that you're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
But,
I
terrible
agree.
example. But
No, I know what you're saying. I get it. Like the core of your interactions with
intent.
people are just like real and transparent.
But I think
And-
that the people that know when to be transparent and when to have that wall, like we've talked about
Yes,
too, those are the people
that's
that
very
don't get burned
true.
out, and they're
Yes,
the people that
that's true, too.
enjoy doing it. But sorry,
Yeah.
continue. I just
That's
want
a great point. Yeah.
No, yeah. So what I was saying is, I'm in a situation where I'm fortunate enough to have a job, and I know that that's not the case for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got my wife who also supports the family, and so this is not a financial. That's not what I'm here for. Again, I'm here for the connections. I'm here for the people. Like I just enjoy it. I enjoy doing things that I'm gonna do anyways with a camera on my face.
Yeah.
And anything that like I think financially it's I don't ever really hear people talk about it on Twitch especially, and that's why I mean like people aren't transparent about it. I think we all obviously if you subscribe or donate or drop some bits, like that's awesome. There's not much else I can do to like hopefully that's just because you enjoy it and you're not expecting something else in return. It's not like that. Maybe for some people it is, but it's like
Thank you, both.
I wish that I could do more
Yeah.
for that. But everything that happens for me personally, because I have lived the life that I do, like anything that I've gotten from Twitch goes back into Twitch.
Yes.
Whether it's my own stream and things to like make the experience better. Like maybe I need some more lights over on this wall or something. Like something that I think
you never
would
need the lights.
you never do, but having them always makes it just that much more. But or it goes back into streamers that I think maybe deserve it.
Yeah.
Like I love giving back, and I don't necessarily like keep tabs on dollar amounts or anything, but I can guarantee that anything that I've gotten from Twitch has gone back into my stream or into streamers that I think are key members to the community, whether it's the Twitch community, the music community, or whatever specifically. And I think that that's so key. And I see it because it goes back and forth. Like sometimes you're just like with your other streamers.
Yeah.
On another side of that too, because I literally just had to do this the other day. Like my PC was acting up, and I was like, you know what? Okay, now's my opportunity to get a new PC. But I was like, that's a significant purchase, and like so, like going through and having to like remove subscriptions to my like friends
Oh
at
yeah.
times.
Oof.
Like right now,
I've
like
done that before.
it's I okay, genuinely no one gift me a sub. Like this is not like please do not. But like I had to remove my subscription for like you, Solar Raven, right? And like for you, Josh, and like mad respect to you guys. And for a second I was like, oh, but what are they think?
Yeah.
And I was like, I know that you guys feel just like you can't do it right now. Like don't, because like that's what I would do for
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
So like,
Because that's not how we're judging your support. You're like, oh, you're not
Exactly.
giving me the $5. That means you don't support me anymore, right?
right. And so like I think it's, I don't know. I always have to try and think of like if I was in the other shoes, like, and I want to try and give myself that same kind of break that I give other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. And I like what Pisa said. They said you can always have a donation goal for rent if you are in a tight situation. I've seen people even put up donation goals for surgeries that they're facing. There is a graceful way about going for donations or making your ends meet, and then there's a not so graceful way, which is making other people feel bad for things that they possibly can't afford, or pressuring other people for doing things like that. I completely disagree with going about that way. And then I don't know, I also feel like it's really cool what Josh brought up about being transparent about where your money goes, because I think most of my money, again, I don't keep tabs like dollar for dollar, but I know when I do get like any kind of donations or whatever it is and it goes into my PayPal, I use it either back into the stream, or I use it for like streaming content like wigs or something. Or once in a while, hell yeah, I treat myself. I'm not even gonna lie, I treat myself. I bought some makeup the other day, but then that usually goes back into the stream. Like I'm like, oh, unboxing or whatever.
Yeah.
But even if it doesn't, like, you don't, as a streamer, you
Doesn't
don't have to
matter.
feel guilty about being
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's not going back into the stream. I
Yeah,
feel
I hope
like
that didn't come across that way.
no,
That's
but
not-
but see, a lot of people would think like that, and that's why it's
Yeah.
so good that you mention that, because a lot of people don't talk about the fact that once someone gives you that money, or like they donate something to you, it becomes your property, right? Unless it's going towards a specific donation goal, and then they find out that you're using it for something else. Maybe then
Yeah.
people would be a little cheesed about that, because maybe they had to sacrifice something to make, maybe if you're putting it for rent, but it's actually like shopping trip, like don't do that. That's misleading. Again, transparency. But if it's something that people can get behind, and it's something that you're being real about, I don't see anything wrong with being transparent and like saying what you need the money for. But yeah, I think what I wanted to bring up with that is there are some people who will donate and support your stream financially with some kind of gain in mind, and I think that's what people expectation. Like I think that's what people call, is that what simping is?
Yeah. Oh no, they don't.
in a way, yeah.
I think they don't
think
want
simping's
anything
more
in return.
I
Right?
thought simping is when you want something in return. You're trying to get with them.
Well, it's like I think it's like giving like something to them, knowing you're not getting something back. and
Oh,
continue-
then
and
why is that a
expecting it.
simp? That's just
No,
you
I
being
think it's like expecting it
cool.
but never getting it. Maybe.
Okay, real quick, we're still going strong, right? We're gonna be. I gotta go feed the dogs real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Guys,
I
I
just
know
wanna make
we're
sure
over
they're good.
time. I'm sorry. If you need to go, let me know. We can wrap this up.
I'm
I
going
don't
into
work
the
till
night.
Saturday.
Okay, cool. I'm
Are you
good.
24-hour stream.
Yeah,
I'll be
right.
back.
Okay,
I'll be right back. You guys keep going.
So wait, can you guys help me? What's a simp? I still don't actually understand. I actually don't understand what a simp is.
I thought it was like expecting something but never getting it, but continuing to do it anyway.
So you are expecting something.
Yeah, I guess I mixed up. Yeah, you expecting it but never getting it.
Okay,
but
so you
still
expect it. So see,
I think.
I think you're right, because I've read, and I wanted to make a YouTube video about this, but you know what? I could talk about it here. What I really disagree with is that there are people who are donating to people hoping to have some kind of like affection or attention from them, right? And then when they don't get it, they blame the streamer for that. But you're the one who made that donation and you contributed to their channel. And a lot of people even have like, please note that there's no refunds and don't do this for any kind of gain in return. And that's a you problem. Like if you're donating for the sole purpose of trying to get with them, sorry, but like that's kind of very naive.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it this way, like imagine like if I was like playing music at a bar or something and someone comes up and they're like, they say 500 bits, but that's like $5, right?
Right.
If someone's like, I'll give you this $5 if you do a backflip, you're like, what? Like, you don't own me for $5. You don't own me for 50 subs. You don't
that
own
is
me for
such a
1,000.
good point.
It's like, no. Like, so sometimes people do it and it's like a meme and it's funny.
Yeah.
But it's like, there is not a number that someone could gift sub or like invest in and donate that would make me do something for them. Because maybe they're like, oh, like, I see some people do like, $5 donations and I'll do a live learn or something of a song.
That's fine.
And that's cool. That's like, because
something you've laid out.
Right. You have a value of $5 to your time in that situation. But it's like some people come in and they think like, oh, they have the #1 bit badge or something like that. And like, that's cool. I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you for supporting. But it's at the same time, I'm me.
You don't suddenly own my time. Like there have been people coming into my stream saying like, oh, I'll give you $10 if you do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, you don't, right? Like I make that face too. It's just like, you don't own me like that. What is this? No. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's not cute. Someone who will say anything to please someone, particularly a girl, in the hopes that they will be in good favor with that person. So it is to kind of get something in return.
Yeah, I think it's with on Twitter, it's like you tweet something, you're like, you look good today. And it's like, that's the extent of it. But I'm sure donating and subbing is the Twitch equivalent.
I feel like it's kind of gotten a little muddled up because sometimes people are genuinely just trying to be nice and they're trying to be cool. Like if Franchise gives me a compliment, I'm not sending them be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between someone just being cool or, well, I guess there's no equivalent for me to do it to you guys. But like if a guy does it to me, I don't automatically think, oh, he's simping. I'm usually like, oh, he's just being so cool. But then I think if they take it to a creepy, weird level, then I'll be like, I wouldn't call them a simp. I'll just be like, your intentions are not clean. I don't like this.
What I love though is like the fact that there is a name to it and it's still like being universally understood. It's like this was a popular impact on society. There's a big groupthink of some experience that's happening, and it's happening so frequently that we're trying to put a name to it. And like by us trying to define it, it's us talking about and understanding. It's all of us kind of being like, how does society treat it? Where are we at? What are we doing? How are we feeling it out? And where does it go? So I just love when new words come out. Yeah.
Ooh, what I do want to add though, when we were talking about the misleading bit is what I don't like and don't appreciate is when streamers are misleading in that way, where they do lead you on to make you believe that if you donate more or if you sub more, it will lead you in some way to some kind of gain with them. That like equally is that equally is wrong and incorrect. It's like those girls, unfortunately it's usually girls that lead you on and like they friend zone you, but they like lead you on so that they can like use your car or get you to like give them drives everywhere or like you buy them food and buy them clothes and all this stuff. And like my personal opinion in those situations is the same as in streaming situations. If the person is being straight up with you and it's like you never go and get it and you're still choosing to follow through with those actions, you made that choice. You're an adult. You made that choice. Just like if she's clearly telling you or he's clearly telling you like, dude, streamer, viewer, like we're just cool. We're friends. Nothing here. That's a you problem. You're continuing to do that. You're an adult. You're making that decision. But if they're misleading you, my heart is with you. I understand. You are clearly being misled. There was a streamer. I'm not going to take their name because I don't know if I'm allowed to. But she was married. She is married, and there were a lot of people saying that she was getting money from that. No. She like met up with a fan or something, and then they didn't get with her, and they were upset about that. Bro, I don't think if I understand the facts correctly, I don't think she ever made a promise that she was gonna give him something. So it's a
And even
him
if they did, and then they
problem.
say no afterwards, then
True.
suck to suck.
True. So true. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a you problem. And I think more people need to be accountable for their decisions. Like you are a grown person. No one is forcing you to stick around. You can dip anytime you want. So
And
when
it's good to check your energy. Be like, so like, what am I? Not like, what am I getting out of this? Like, oh, am I getting a consistent view or something? But it's like, what do they bring to the friendship? Right? What do they bring to the energy? And maybe it's just like they're the person that like listens, or maybe I just value their input on something. Maybe they make me smile and laugh, and like that's
the
energy
extent of
back.
it, that's the extent of that friendship, relationship, whatever it is. Yeah, and it's about recognizing your vibes. Don't be a simp. Agreed. Don't. True. You can be
I think
a kind person and be supportive, but don't like expect things in return. I agree. Fully support
I
that.
think that there's a population.
Oop.
Oh,
Oh no. Okay.
oh, we're back. Hi, Norma.
Hi, Norma.
I think that there's a population of people that fall within this category of, we'll say Simpson, since that's kind of what we're going with. I feel like that word's kind of like dirty at the
Right?
same time.
It's so
I don't know why. It feels like dirty, but it to me there's like a category of people that fall under that, and they know it, but they don't address it.
Yes.
You know, they know what the term simp means.
Be
They
accountable.
understand where, yeah, and it's like, but it's like, how, like anything, when you hear facts or when you know, like maybe you're doing something wrong, why are you not changing anything? And there's just people that just won't change because they don't care or they don't want to, and so they're gonna stay in. They're just gonna go to some other female's chat that does the
Mm.
same thing or gives the same vibes, and they're gonna start doing the same thing again and try it. And it's just like, what's wrong?
And that's why sometimes
Why?
it's so important to call it out, right? Like
But
it's gonna cost you a viewer maybe, but it's important to call it out. Like if you see that behavior as a streamer, you calling them out might be the wake up call they need because they might not be noticing that they're falling into that category.
No, I completely agree. But what I'm saying is the people that are told that, and then they just go somewhere else and try it again, and then go somewhere else,
Oh.
and they keep just like, I feel like there's people that they just won't change, like just because they donated to you and you're not giving that kind of vibe, that's not your thing, and then you tell them like, hey, this ain't it, and they're like, well, I donated, and you're like, no, that's not what this
Yeah.
is, and then they bounce. They're just gonna try again to somebody that's maybe like more
Oh.
passive and less assertive with how they approach a situation and not be so straightforward. And I think that I hate men. I honestly just hate men, and I hate the way that I hate that whole atmosphere and that whole
I
side of
feel like
things.
it's worth mentioning too. Not I'm not going to be like, well, actually, it's all like obviously things are skewed, everything's valid, but like I actually do notice, and it took me a while because I was witnessing it, that it was like a male streamer and it was like females, but it took me a while to realize like, wait, that's not okay. Like that's the same level, that's the same thing, and so like I actively have to always like remind myself to like think about it because I've got one buddy who does get a lot of attention from, well, men and women, in that way, and like a couple comments here and there, like that's fine, but like sometimes it gets a bit
Regular.
uncomfortable.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah, and like it made me realize, this is another thing that I learned from Twitch, is that like at first I was like, this is just funny, and then I was like, wait, things were reversed, how would I feel about it? And I was like, okay, I want to make sure I feel about the event. I don't know, it's good to like try and check yourself every time that it's switched around, and
Yes.
see what you think then.
Oh, 100%. Guys, I'll give you the prime example, okay? When I first started streaming, I was a little bit more flirtatious than I am now. Like, I've definitely reeled it back a lot more because I realized that there are certain people, again, you have a different vibe with everybody. You can't apply the same vibe to everybody. You're going to run into issues. And that's something I learned. I would always call people scrumptious and I would like flirt with them. When it was honestly, like genuinely, like God knows my heart, it was mainly to like make them feel good, like just to make them
Sure.
feel good. It wasn't to get some kind of gain out of them. Cause I'm a pussy. If someone actually made a move on me, I'd be like, oh my God, no, please stop. I don't, go away, please. I saw by someone's stream. He was an attractive person, but he had a beautiful voice. Beautiful voice. Oh my God. And so I saw by his stream, like he knew me from Twitch things, and then he decided to sing a song with me, and and the song was Pony. He started singing Pony with me. Honestly, I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. I didn't think it mattered because I didn't really think about, like, I wasn't doing it in a sexual way, like talking to him in a sexual way with intentions of being sexual. So I wasn't like, oh, does he have a girlfriend? You know what I mean? So like that detail was irrelevant to me. And he was singing that song, and he's just like, oh my God, this song's making me feel some type of way. Use the way you're singing with your voice and this and this. And then I started like kind of flirting back with him. And then I think I said something that was like kind of raunchy or something, and then he got really like uncomfortable and like he started blushing on stream, and it was a question, and someone responded to him like, yo, don't worry, she knows you have a girlfriend, so like she's not actually expecting a response. And when that person said that, that's when it clicked for me, like, shit, that was inappropriate, I shouldn't have said that. So it definitely goes both ways, but that was a moment for me to check myself and be like, I DM'd him, like whispered him, and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I meant nothing by that. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't mean anything by that. I'm totally sorry. And then he was like, yo, it's cool. Don't worry about it. We move forward from that, and that's that. In the past, done, move forward, gone. But I think if I would have been like, no, come on, man, you know I'm joking, and then like we start, you know those people where you call them out and they're just like, why are you taking it so seriously? It's just a joke. You're not fun. You're not fun. No, I accepted it. I took responsibility. I apologized, and I moved forward, and I changed my attitude going forward. So yes, it happens to men as well.
Yeah, it's tough it's a weird thing because you have to be, even when you're not on camera, you have to be conscious of like, of what's going on. You know, you have to be very aware. And sometimes very innocently, you're just like, joking. You're joking, and then it comes back like, hey, that was inappropriate. And you're like, whoa, wait, what was it? And then, you know.
Because you're in a different vibe, right? If you're going for something,
house.
And if you're going for something sexual, then you'll be more conscious of it than if you're just lighthearted fun. It doesn't mean anything. You're just having fun. And I think that can really get you into trouble. So I've definitely become more conscious of like what I say to people.
Yeah.
But isn't it a cool thing with Twitch that you can have that interaction and you can learn from it, and it can be awkward, but like it's almost like you can learn social skills with, like, if it was like a bowling, it'd be like the bumpers are up, because at the end of the day that person probably doesn't think about you anymore, and you probably rarely think about them in that situation.
Oh, interesting. But it's like a lesson learned for you. It's like heavy for you.
It's a training ground to be able to like learn from that. So like that's one thing that Twitch is great for, because at the end of the day, if you fumble around with the way you did something, you can still take something great from it, even if the experience was bad, and learn from it. And then besides serious situations, you can no harm done, no serious harm done.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was just in someone's chat, and purely based off of their username, I said hi, first name, and I immediately got corrected, and they go, oh no, it's this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like, I felt, but it was like a common misconception. Okay, so there was even a command for like the correction.
Wait, like a he her type situation?
No, not a pronoun thing, like a straight up name based off of username. Based off of their Twitch username.
Because they got it so much. Command. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so they made a command, but I felt so bad because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have no reason to feel bad because how would I know? But at the same time, it's like, well, now I know.
Now you know.
And I apologize. I was like, I'm sorry. And they were like, well, no, it happens. Everybody almost falls into that trap once. I was like, okay, cool. And then move on. And then like, that's it. Like, that's lesson learned,
which is so important. It's a two-part thing. Like, you can be accountable for your mistake, you can apologize, but if the other person like keeps dwelling on it and bringing it up and like always makes you feel bad about it, and every time you stop by their stream they're like, remember that time you did this and this, oh, this guys, this is the person I was telling you about the other day, like, that's so mean. Like, I just don't think the person would feel very good coming into your chat. Like, that's not the good. That's not even a streamer thing. That's just a life thing. You know, if someone has an issue with you and they deal with it and they move forward, there's no point like constantly bringing it up and talking about it, unless and I want to say something though on that. And I made a YouTube video about this too as well. if you have a falling out with someone, this goes to Twitch, this goes to friendships, whatever. If you have a falling out with someone, or like you address something with them and it like really hurts you, or really made you upset, and you address it with them, you forgive them, and you move forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean things have to go back to the way that they were before. I had this huge misconception that that's what forgiveness was, but you can forgive someone and the vibe can be different going forward, because that's something that you took the experience, you forgave them, but now you're making new implementations in your life dealing with their relationship, and you should not be shamed for that. That's just how you're choosing to deal with the situation. And if you come into someone's stream and like you're constantly inappropriate and they keep forgiving you, or like maybe you made a really huge boo-boo and they forgave you but the vibe is just off, you got to accept that the vibe is just off. Like
Forgiveness isn't a get out of jail free card.
yeah, like just because you apologize, it doesn't mean the person will just, things will go back to the way that they were because that thing happened, right? And I think that it's important to notice that sometimes if you're in like a huge violation of someone's privacy or their rules or their etiquettes, the way they carry themselves, their morals, their values, you could mess up to the point where like things are just not the same again. And that's just part of accepting that that's a repercussion of your action, right? I think the pronoun thing is a huge thing for a lot of people, and I know I am guilty of calling someone a she when they had preferred him. And I think the kind and understanding thing to do is to correct the person a couple of times, maybe because it might be a transition for them, or it might be hard for them. But if the person constantly chooses to force a pronoun on you when you've made it very clear, I can see how that could be a point of like, I forgive you, but we're not really cool. I hope you know that.
Right.
One thing I love about Twitch though is like, there's so many people like that do consider themselves like non-binary, and a lot of other, like, I'm learning so much language and I'm learning so much about people. And like now when I hear stories or like see the news and stuff like that, like I have people in my head, like I know people like that finally. And I like, that's such a good thing about Twitch, is like being able to see people in different aspects of life. And because like I was rarely in a situation where I had to really pay attention to the pronouns that I used. And most of the people that I'm friends with, like, they didn't mind if I goofed up for a bit. They're like, oh yeah, it's crazy for everybody and we figure it out as we go. But like actually putting faces to life experiences and being able to just see them thrive and be them best selves, and like, I don't, you realize how similar everyone is anyway.
Yeah.
And like, that's what gives me so much energy.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned earlier, or you asked a question, I don't think I answered it. It was what's success to you? And when it comes to Twitch, I think ultimately I would love to make a living out of Twitch. I would love to actually, you know, have some sort of regular financial gain so that I could not have a job that drains me and doesn't make me feel very happy. Twitch definitely makes me feel happy because I don't think you guys realize, but these real talks are like really therapeutic for me. It's a time where I can just like, I thrive in self-reflection. I thrive in just knowing that I'm really looking into myself and like picking out my flaws, but not in a demeaning way, more of like I can do this, I can fix it, I'm good. Like I'm progressing in my life, you know, I can pick myself apart in a healthy manner and move forward from that. And streaming gives me that. Like my current job, like, yes, I might be contributing to the betterment of an organization, but this is my bread and butter, right? So I think success would be that if I do create a big enough impact on Twitch, that I do develop a strong enough platform where I do have a bigger platform to make more of a difference. And like if this talk show actually goes on a bigger scale and it's actually like featured and we get bigger guests on here, that will give me the opportunity to spread these types of messages and these discussions to more people. And I feel like I am kind of limited because I'm a smaller streamer right now, and I want to be involved in like anti-bullying campaigns and you know, help out with like sexual assault survivors and domestic abuse survivors and things like that. And and yes, I can do that on my own time and like go volunteer at shelters and things like that. But I want to be bigger than that. I want to like have a bigger platform, and like no one's gonna listen to Solo Raven because who is Solo Raven? You know what I mean? They're gonna listen to someone who's like a recognizable name. And I just pray that if I ever am blessed with that opportunity, that I keep my promise and I do make some kind of difference. So that's success to me. And I do want to be transparent that yes, monetary gain is a thing for me. Like, I'm not going to be shy about that. I'm not going to be saying that that's not something I'm looking forward to, because if it's not, then like I'll have to have a second job, and I don't want a second job. But what I do want, my side business, what I do want though is eventually I would love to sell my handmade art. Like, I love art. That's a dream,
That wood
man.
stuff looked so cool when I saw you working on it.
Thank you
Did
so
you start doing
much.
wood burning?
I did. Well, I did it for the 2 Star Wars plaques that I made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really like done a lot of it. I'm trying to get back into it. But yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream. Part-time streaming and well, full-time streaming, and then having my own store or something like Etsy store.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people, I don't know how old both of you are, but around our age, I feel like
31.
really need that. Yeah, okay, so I'm 29, but so like really,
I'm the
we
baby,
really,
26.
you are the
Oh,
baby.
little baby crooks.
I think we realize, like working hard just ain't worth it for what you get in return. As far as like financial gain at times, like it's hard to find a job that is also so rewarding that and pays well so that you can live the lifestyle that you want to.
Yeah.
Whereas Twitch, I think one of the big appeals of it is that like I can do what I want, game, music, art, whatever, and I can get paid for it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and then also, or do side hustles. Like if I could just quit my job today by choice, obviously, in a perfect world, like I would do that and just try to be a better artist musically, or like do better at video, like I would
Video
explore those
editing and
avenues.
things like that.
Yeah, shooting and editing. I do from start to finish.
I should
Wow.
see some of it. It's really cool.
Wow.
But yeah, so I think that that Twitch is such an interesting thing, and on so many levels. But another level is that like you get to meet people from places that you'll never get to go.
So
And I can tell you right
true.
now, I was looking at my analytics the other day just because I'm not one of the people that obsesses over them, because I really don't care. But I was interested, and like 50% of my viewership is Canada, and I love that more than
Yeah. Canada in the house.
Yeah.
Hoop.
So it's so cool to me that people
Which one
from
of you
all-
did that?
It wasn't me.
It was such an innocent. It wasn't like brrr, like an aggressive. It's like
It was like a
Hey,
polite, like,
yeah.
can I
can I
It was like a Motorola. I don't know if you guys have those
Oh
in
my
Canada.
God.
See, that's the other thing, is like the learning
Oh my god.
of like
hilarious.
how different cultures like approach
1000%.
situations too, because like you guys, not you guys, but like I'll hear words said and I'm like, no clue what that means. Or people from Europe and like all the way around the world, Australia. It's so cool that like
It is.
you're immediately connected and have this relationship with someone literally on the other side of the world. Or I think it's so strange that I live in one of the northernmost states in the United States and I don't know any Canadians.
Wow.
I can't say that I've
Like
ever
Wow.
IRL. Let's make that real.
IRL.
Okay.
I can't say that I've ever met a Canadian in real life, but maybe I have, and that just wasn't the topic,
They were a secret Canadian.
Right.
Secret
Well, maybe we
Canadians.
need to make this. Well,
Vibes.
I was actually gonna have a meetup in June, and then COVID happened. So like maybe next year, you and your wifey can come over. Krugs, come on down
Let's
to
go.
Toronto. Let's go make a
Yeah.
time.
I'll
gonna be
bring
so
my,
fun.
my dictionary to understand. But like
You
for
don't
me,
need no
like,
dictionary. You got me.
I'm a student of Toronto slang from you. Toronto. Sorry, no T, right?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Toronto. Yeah.
But for me, like this is all touching on like what I define as success. It's less tangible thing, but for me, success is 2 things with Twitch. One of them is like with me taking a couple of years off from school because I just wasn't paying attention, wasn't focused, and I like worked at a retail job. And I was with a bunch of people that were like 3 or 4 years younger than me at like a certain point in life where like they were just getting into like, we're just legal drinking age. And like I was getting out of that kind of lifestyle. So like I was around a lot of people that even like they're my good friends, but we were different. And like this is successful to me because so many times, like, success to me, one of them is me going, yes, like, yeah, like pointing, like agreeing, because I'm like, yes, like I find people that think like I do. But then the other part of success for me is when there's that disconnect of like, what the heck is going on? Like when I talk about milk bags, or have you guys heard of the
I
bender?
just had to ask you about that. I'd
Yeah.
never heard that milk bags were a thing. No.
And I love those moments because it's fun, it's innocent, and like, and I am a strong defender of milk being in a bag. And like I could go on like a 5-minute speech about how much better that is, but we won't get into it. But like I love that, like that when people have that wait what moment, because like that's a chance of learning. Or,
It's
like,
so fun. It is so
Like,
fun.
An example is like, so like, have you guys heard me talk about benders before? No. So like if someone said like bender, what is that to you?
Bender. A fender bender.
Bender. Okay. So like some people take it as well as like going out for like a raging party. Like I'm going out for a bender. It's like 3 days of just like drinking and partying and stuff. Yeah. So for me though, growing up, I would be like, I'm hungry, but I'm not like gonna commit to a whole sandwich. So I'd get a bender, a one piece of bread that you like put like peanut butter on it. You fold it like that was a bender. Like my niece says, like, hey, I want a bender. Like, oh, so one time I told Stream, hey guys, be right back. I'm going for a bender, like a 3-minute bender. And then so like everyone, like I left chat and chat's going, wait, what? Like they think like, did he just go grab alcohol? Is he Chuck? Like,
what is
he
that?
okay?
What's
It's
happening?
like midway through like a Twitch sing stream, like going for a bender, and then I come back and I'm just like, to me, I'm just using normal language that I think everybody knows, and they're like, what? So I got like made fun of for like the term bender because I was like, oh, maybe that's a Canadian thing, and then people in Canada were like, no, and then I'm like, maybe it's a New Brunswick thing, and then people were like, no. I asked like friends that I worked with, and they're like, no. I was
that's
like,
a
okay,
Krugs thing. It's a Krugs thing.
Yeah.
I
But
just
again, like that's
remembered-
successful to me.
Sorry, this is completely off. I just remembered because D, Too Pretty for a Condom, said ladies all dressed. I was in the United States military. I met up with Canadian military, Canadian Air Force people, and they brought those out as like the our social setting. They were like, hey, we got some chips, and they brought
From
those out. And
Canada.
I was like, these are so good. Oh my gosh. All dressed ladies.
Yeah, just having that other experience. Like, how can I, in a small town of like a small province, like be able to have those like what moments of this? Like, I don't understand. Like through Twitch, I've been able to meet like I'm a mod for like a gold medal Olympian. I'm like,
wow.
I've befriended people that like they squat 600 pounds, and I found a way to communicate with them, which me in my real life, I'd be like intimidated by the person, or like I'd be like, I've got nothing in common with them, but like they're cool. We chat all the time now. And
why
like,
wasn't I one of those examples, Kruger?
Oop.
Oh, and there's this one guy that I know. I never would have met his dog, Oakley.
Oh yeah.
It's about the dog.
No, but like even like you, like Josh,
I'm just
like
kidding. Don't talk about
no. Yeah, we are. Like he's so
You
talented
wanted it.
with, like,
you gon' get it.
yeah.
Okay.
He made like my sub badges. I paid him. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It was like Vito, and so it was a Big Brother reference, and it was my cat, and it was like perfect. And so like
He got
did
it.
that,
He understood
his
it.
video editing skills and stuff like that. Like even like when we first got on, because we got there a bit early to make sure we weren't late. He was like, oh, you need help with lighting for your mic? Yeah, no problem. He like, we'll get up on video. Like, never got around to it, as you can see. But it's like he's got genuinely incredible skills, and like the fact that I can call someone a friend that is so successful in just what they do, at least in my eyes. I don't know what you portray to me, but like that's cool. You don't get those experiences, and that's success for me, because like then that makes me excited.
Yeah.
That gives me that energy again.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny how I met Krugs, because D is like a longtime friend of mine that I made through streaming. He's like one of my day ones, and he introduced me to Krugs. So D lives in Ohio. Krugs lives in New Brunswick. I would have never met either of them IRL, right? And now like Krugs and I are really good friends, and D and I are really good friends. It's crazy how it works. Yeah, Megashank is D. You're absolutely right. Streaming and Twitch, and we should be I feel blessed, and we should be grateful that we live in a time where we have this platform. Like our parents didn't have this, right? Yeah.
I know another skill.
Yeah, go for it.
When we got to Twitch Con, that was the first time I like met people I met through online, and like one thing that I left with that is like the people isn't meant to like throw shade or anything, but like the people I was excited to see, that I was like hopeful to see, because like we talked about, like you get to see what we want you to see. Sometimes you accidentally see other
Oh
things.
my god, I
but,
was
like,
gonna ask you this question. I'm so glad you're answering it. Okay.
but it was like I got to go there, and like every single person, I was like, I really want to see them. I think they're a really cool person. Like immediately, like even like Solar Raven, like we barely saw each other, but it was
Yeah.
just like I saw you in person, and immediately I was like, yep, I knew it, and like we had so much fun for that little moment in time. For me, unfortunately, there were so many people.
I know, I
I'm gonna talk about
know.
too many, but it was like
I'm so lucky I even got to meet you. That was because it was by chance. It was literally by chance,
likewise.
by the Twitch Things booth.
Yeah,
You were
and
with
I
Kisos.
yeah, Kisos is so sick.
So
Like I find I got to like confirm myself both like with music and listening back and be like, I have improved. Like, you know what? I like my voice. What? Like, that's a weird thing a lot of people don't say. I was like, I enjoy what I'm doing there. And like the same to be said with like my judge or expectation of character of just like when I was the people that I trusted, or the people that I was like, I like this person and I want to see them. It was like bang, bang, spot
Yes.
on. So like if I'm on Big Brother, I'm winning. That's all I'm
Hey.
saying.
I think that's the best feeling when you know someone online and then you meet them in person and they're the exact same person and you're like, this is so awesome. This is so refreshing. I do have to say, like, overall, I had that experience. I don't think there was anyone that I met that I was like, you're kind of strange. But I know there were people that had
There's
that
people that I was like, oh,
experience.
you're strange.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. In
yeah.
a good way, but not like
Yeah.
you are totally different. Oh my goodness gracious. I would have been very disappointed, but I got very lucky in that way. But I know there were a lot of people that were looking forward to meeting certain people, and they like turned out to be a little, dicky. So that's unfortunate, but
But good on those people that like not set the wrong expectation. That's bad. But like the people that they met and they're like, oh, that's a different person, because that person they've got a strong wall. That's a skill. Salute to them. 'Cause, like I can learn something from them. But I don't know.
don't think I could do that, honestly, guys. I don't think so. I don't have the capacity to do that. No. I
Yeah.
can't
Like
not be
self-centered.
real. Like I can't not be real because it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, ew, who am I? I'll do like funny skits and stuff. Like I like breaking down my personality and maybe like acting more like one at times, but it's just for memes and fun. But I don't think I could actually be like, this is my streamer Raven and this is my like real Raven,
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective because I also worked in radio. I was a DJ in the Air Force, and so what you have to do, because you're not on camera, is you have to be 120% who you are, because it's hard for people, even if you're happy and you're doing that, it's hard for people to know just from listening, because they have to hear it in your voice. And so a lot of that is very true for Twitch too, is you have to take who you are as a person and then amp it up a little bit. And I think that's why some of the fear comes in sometimes, where you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it today. I don't have the energy to match. And Kruger and I were also talking about this, where like even being in a party with someone else who is streaming, you still kind of have to feel like you're on a little bit, just so that it's not boring, so that the streamer has friends to talk to and communicate with and have a good time with, but also not be so overwhelming that you take over their stream.
Yeah.
In the passive role. And man, there's just so many things that you have to like come into play when you're streaming too. Like not everything has to be perfect, but
Tech
you have to feel up at that level.
and tech stuff. I know tech wise. Oh my god. Speaking of tech, I know Kurgs mentioned this earlier, but like, did you guys ever have something revealed on stream that you were like, mother flipper dipper, now I gotta delete the whole damn VOD?
I haven't. I'm very, very careful.
Bless up. Oh my god.
Well, I'm still
Knockwood. No.
yeah, I'm still pretty new, so but I'm very careful. I rarely ever do display capture, because I want to be very calculated in what windows are being shown. And that's not to like hide something. I'm not trying to like hide some weird thing that I've got going on, but it's really just for personal, like, and you don't even think about the windows that you pull, like the
yes.
file explorer,
Yes.
your name in a file.
Yes.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't.
Like Jackbox can screw you over, because even like, let's say off stream with your friends, like you're using your phone and you have an inside joke. It's weird. It's definitely like appropriate for that context, not others. Like not offensive, but just like different than what you would do if you were live. That saves sometimes as like a history thing, and other websites that might consider that to be the same thing. As much as you click on one, it's like, oh, it's a name, so we assume it's Blake blank. And then when you click on that, sometimes you click on something different, and then the Jackbox stuff pops up. So
Whoa.
yeah, you got.
I didn't know that.
I always try and use like Firefox or like Edge for that, so that like my Chrome is safe.
Chrome's the thing that like saves things, and Edge is like the less
Yeah.
CPU, but also not
Oh,
saved
man.
information.
I think I've had my address revealed on stream, my name
Oh,
revealed
no.
on stream, my email address revealed on stream. Like this is like early on when I first started streaming. I didn't
Yeah.
know that when you click on your PayPal, it shows your name. Like because I had it as my name, and
Yeah.
luckily those people at that time I only had like a few viewers. D was one of them, and he's just like, yeah, you might want to change that because it's showing your full name. I was like, okay, change that.
Donations, like you donate to someone, you give them your full information, so you really have to be careful. in
Yeah,
what you do.
true. Parents be coming into my room hooping and hollering my name all the time. One time I thought the stream was over. I started walking around my undies. Like it was just not good.
I just did that this past week. So Krugler, again, my guru of Twitch. Krugler has not. You have nothing to do this, but
Okay, I was like, what did I do?
one of the first things that he told me and taught me was when you raid someone, you still have to end the stream.
Yes.
Okay, so I.
But it's so
didn't do
easy
that
to
the other
forget
night.
that. It's so easy to
Yeah.
forget that.
I like got up, I like sat here, and I only know this because I went back to watch the VOD to check audio levels, and I went to the end and I saw myself say bye, and then like I sat here, and then I was just like, I could see my reaction to like things they were saying, and I was just like, oh, and then like chatting, like my TV's, I got a TV mounted up here that I watch.
Oh,
I
that's
keep
so
the Twitch up
funny.
on. And I just remember thinking like, oh my god, when's it gonna end? When's it gonna like? I didn't do anything weird.
How long
so,
was that going on for?
it probably just went on for like 2 more minutes because
Oh, that's
I
not
finally
bad.
like looked over and my monitor that I keep OBS up was over here, and I was like, oh shit. And then
I actually saw someone who did that for over 9 hours.
oh really?
And like, so you can kind of tell. So for everybody that's watching or whatever, if there's someone that like usually has like a certain number of views, and like, so like this guy, like he sang on The Voice and stuff like that before. So like I knew like when he had like one viewer, I was like, something's off here. Maybe he just started, maybe he's just, and I don't know. And I clicked on it. And of course, when you're on the main screen, you see that it's hosting the other person.
Mm-hmm.
But when you click on the VOD, I
Yeah,
saw,
that's where I saw it.
and I was going back, and I
Wait,
was going back, and
say
I was
that
like,
again?
so like
So-
if you see someone that's live on the side and you see they have like 0 or like 1 viewer, and you're like, that's different than usual, and you click on it and you realize they're hosting someone, what they did is they forgot to end their stream. So when you click on it, you see the person they hosted, but they're still live. So if you check the VOD, that's all still
The
there.
VOD's-
So
yeah, the VOD's playing it back.
I went and checked. Luckily, his room was a separate room that he streamed in. But like with him, he was on the other side of the world. But I got a friend that knew his phone number to like text him to tell him, because he messaged me. He's like, "Thank you so much," because like that is also the room that we have people over, and we were about to have a party, and like obviously we wouldn't want people not knowing getting recorded or anything like that.
Right.
And it's unfortunate if you had like a really good stream and you want to remember it, and like
I had to delete that whole stream just for 3
Yeah.
seconds. Just for 3 seconds of me walking around. I can't trim it, so it was
Yeah.
so unfortunate.
you can like save it and then you can
re-upload
like,
it.
edit it, but that's
Yeah,
that's
the
too much.
creeper path. Yeah, that's so. That actually happened. I was doing a Jackbox party with someone else streaming, and I noticed after he got off, I went and got in bed, and I just popped on Twitch again because you know that's what you do, and he was. I could see his shadow. Like his shadow was on the wall, and he was just like texting, and I was trying like desperately to call him through Discord because I don't have his info, and so I was like just calling, and then I like messaged somebody else that was like. I think I heard in during while we were playing games, it said he had his phone number, and so I was like, "Hey, you got his number?" He left his stream on, until finally just a regular Discord message I sent him. I was like, "Hey man, your stream's still going," and I just saw him like come back in and just click, and it was off.
Shoot.
But he was just like sitting in there, just like looking around, like texting, and I was like, "Oh my gosh," that seeing myself just last week doing that, I was like, wow, like the potential, like I don't do
It's
anything
so
weird, but like
easy.
Yeah.
the potential for people to just be watching and seeing me while I'm unaware that I'm being
Yeah.
watched is so weird.
It's so creepy. And especially me, like I finished streaming around 9 or 10 o'clock. So right after that, it's like routine for bedtime. So I'm like undressing, getting ready for bed, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's so terrifying thinking like now I'm like really careful about it. But that one day, I don't know what happened. Like I literally rated the person, and I think the issue is there's a delay. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but in Streamlabs there's a little bit like a few seconds delay when you hit raid to when they receive it. So I'm usually just like waiting for them to receive the raid, and then sometimes I get caught up with their stream that I forget to end it.
Yes,
I
that's
think that's
exactly
what
what happened.
happened, because usually I'm okay with that, but I was waiting for that to come out, and then they were so excited, and like I started talking to them and I completely forgot about that. So guys, watch for that.
It's because if you have OBS open too, then Discord is still in streamer mode, so none of those notifications come through.
Which
Yeah.
And so,
notifications?
well, like so when you have OBS open, Discord mutes itself, and at the top there's a purple bar that says like streamer mode.
Streamer mode,
Yes,
yeah.
I see
And
that.
so because you still have OBS on, you won't get those notifications.
Of
So
people
sometimes,
saying,
yeah. So there's been times I've been like in the person they rated chat and trying to like tag that person, be like, hey, and like I feel bad kind of when I'm like, oh, like tagging in another person's stream, like check my Discord. And just me because of who I am, then I make sure I'm in that chat for like 10 minutes and contribute, because I just don't want the person to think I'm like, hey, don't care about you, trying to talk to my friend. But then I go and tell them like, listen, this
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're telling you guys this not so you can creep, but so you can help.
so you can help, yeah, and so you can in your own streams you can be more
Yeah.
careful about that, because it so easily happens to people, and it is
Yeah.
creepy because there could be like there was one person, I won't lie, like when I was going through the VOD, I saw someone's comment where like after I'd rated the person they were still there. I don't know why, and it was after I had left the room, so you could just see my room. And then maybe like, I don't know, like 40 seconds later, I come in. So I really hope that they still weren't there. But bro, like, why are you still there? Like, why don't you go around with the
Yeah.
raid? Like, that's creepy. That's messed up, man.
Hi, Belle.
Yeah, bye, Belle. Good night. Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's crazy. Yeah, I do want to end with one thing. Actually, not two things maybe. Something that's really important: toxicity in games and in streams. How do you guys deal with it? It's such a mood bringer downer.
For me, I know I'm comfortable enough with myself that like I personally can take it.
Okay.
But like what I'm about
All
to
the
say,
time.
me, yes.
Oh,
Like
that's
when I'm streaming,
amazing.
because in my mind and like I'm comfortable with myself. You got stuff to say, that's fine. You're talking to me. You're not trolling someone else. Like just have your fun. If they like, so I've only actually been trolled twice. I'm very lucky.
Wow.
First one, I streamed Club Penguin, so the toxicity came out, and they were just like making fun of the choice of penguin I did or how bad my score was, and like I was able to laugh at it. But like if you're not able to take that criticism, then like don't do what I do, because sometimes you think you are and then it sticks with you. But I can find it funny. I'm like, they're actively like they're seeking attention. Don't give it to them, and like sometimes they can like stick around and be fun people, but don't expect that. But I'd say the other time I was on Twitch Sings, and it was almost like micro like toxicity in a way, because they were trying to veil it as like, hey, like really enjoy your voice, awesome. And they're like, the other guy not so much though. And to them maybe they thought like, oh, they're hyping me up and that's how maybe I want to feel. But the other person is a good friend of mine, and that's when I was like, not having it.
I don't
Like
like
stopped
that.
everything. I'm like, no, you listen. They're having fun. What are you doing? You're not having fun. So they're currently better off than anything you could possibly say right now. Get the heck out of here. Like that's when I matter, because I can control how I intake it. But you come for someone else, I don't care what I'm doing. Like pause everything. Like get the heck out of here, and then like hype up that person, because they don't deserve that. The fact that they can put themselves out there on Twitch things, and if they're having fun, like that's growth. You benefit so much by doing that, and anyone trying to take it down is just because they're like, they don't have the same courage that you do for enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
So like that's the type of toxicity that I immediately just like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's where you draw the line.
So are you asking toxicity as in the chat, or are you taking toxicity like if I were playing, I don't know, Call of Duty and something came up or somebody I was playing with said some stuff.
Yeah, I think both. So it's I think a two-part question. There's one where you're streaming and then people are rude to you via voice in like Valorant or whatever game that you're playing, Call of Duty. And then the other one is if you're streaming, you're having a good time and people come in chat and they're toxic. And they're just rude. Just rude.
Yeah,
You.
chat situation, no, like I can take all the criticism in the world. I'm pretty thick-skinned. Is that what the term is? Thick-skinned?
With a THICC.
Yeah, thick. She thick though. My skin though. But yeah, like Krugler said, once you start going for other people, or once you start saying some like real ignorant, like again, like if it's geared towards me and it's disrespectful to a lot of other people, that's when it becomes a problem. But if you're just like, you're a crappy singer, of like, okay, cool. There's a lot of other people on Twitch. See you later.
Oh yeah. True.
Like someone came in and they request. So I don't really get trolls. I've again been fortunate enough to not have too many trolls either. But again, I'm fairly new, so knock on wood. But it's probably gonna happen. But they came in and they requested a song that wasn't on my list. They didn't even try to go look at the list. And then I said, I don't know that song, and I actually don't know any songs by that person. They were like, well, that's real sad that you don't know that. And I was like, well, there's, and I don't ever get defensive, but I was like, but if you want to find someone, there's probably someone else that can play that song.
I like that. For you. I really like that.
Go somewhere else. Like, and it wasn't like a F you go somewhere else. It was like, you can find that content somewhere else probably. Yeah. And I hope I'm sure it came off as like, I'm an asshole, but at the same time, like, I'm sorry. Like,
I actually really like that.
Yeah, and it's like the content exists somewhere else, just not that specific thing doesn't exist here. But if you want to hear other songs, and then I put my song
right
list,
ahead.
you know,
yeah.
I put my song list. Click the link, find a song maybe that you know. If you don't, see you later.
I think that's great for anyone in chat, by the way. Sorry. If anyone, I know there was someone in chat who, or like people in chat sometimes, or who are streamers, they don't know how to like shut down someone. I think that's the most polite way to shut down someone. Literally, like if someone's like, show feet, show boobs, when's this and this, be like, sorry, it's not that kind of stream, but I'm sure if you go on Twitch, there's many people you can find like that. And that's not a toxic, like you're literally saying like the truth.
It exists somewhere else. It does. But yeah, so, and then for games, it's tough. Like, Overwatch is tough. When I was streaming games still, I would play Overwatch for some reason. And the chat gets chaotic. And so I just put my video over the chat because, and DBD sometimes too, gets pretty bad too. People just want to say some rude shit. And I'm just like, well, I'll just put my camera over the chat so that I can at least prevent everybody else from seeing that, because I don't want that to represent my stream either.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you handle it though with like games like voice chat? Because I feel like I can't, because if I have my face on a camera and then someone else says something awful that I have no control over, and if anyone sees that, like that's on me just because of the profession that I'm going towards. But like for me, I luckily I don't stick with games too often. So like if I have a choice between like a game that has a voice chat and not, I'm too afraid to do it. Like I don't want to do VR voice chat. I don't want to do like Warzone with the yelling. I like having control of what I put my face on.
Yeah.
But what do you do? Sorry.
No. Sorry. I keep trying to cut you off. My bad. Basically so I would mute people before, but at this point, and at this point in my streaming career, but also just my life, like I don't have the patience for it. And so, and I don't think that other people need to hear some nasty stuff, that the nasty, vile things that people say for no reason or because they're mad. And I think that's one of the reasons that I found the music community of Twitch to be so appealing, because I'm in control of all the audio that comes out. You know, like I don't have to worry about that. I still enjoy gaming. I still enjoy playing Call of Duty, Overwatch, and I still deal with the toxicity in my own way. But nobody else has to be, you know, an innocent victim because they're in my chat watching the stream. I think that I just make that conscious effort to not really stream, like you said, games with voice chat anymore, because the risk is too high to offend someone, even though, you know, like they know you didn't say it and you don't tolerate it. It's still like, it still came through on your airwaves, and it you feel bad about it, you know?
Yeah. I think for me, it's more like how it affects me and less about how it affects chat, because I'm sure chat would like get upset on my behalf, like why are they being so
Sure.
rude for no reason. But I think I've definitely realized I don't have a very thick skin, and honestly I don't feel like I need to have a very thick skin, because I think a lot of the times you're told that you're the problem, but why do I need to have a thick skin? Like, they're the ones that need to change their attitude. They have a shitty
Right.
attitude. Like, they're making
Yeah.
me feel like shit for no reason. I think the time where I actually snapped, like, I used to do Valorant voice chats on my stream. Like, I had no problem having that. But I think one time on stream and then a few times off stream, I was playing and these people were just saying like these really mean things to me. And as soon as they hear my voice and they hear that I'm a girl, they for some reason feel like it's okay to put me down just because
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
girl, or if I'm like 1-2, right? That's my a KDA. They're like, yeah, I've never really met a good girl gamer, and it's just like, what does my sex have to do with my performance in a game? I've seen some great female gamers, and that's the other thing. Why do I have to call myself a female gamer? I actually, no offense to anyone who uses this tag, I really don't like that. Do you see guys saying male gamer? No,
No.
we're a gamer because we play games. So why I gotta
Right.
say I'm a female gamer? I don't introduce myself, I'm a female gamer. I just say I love to play games. And if they're like, you're a gamer, sure, I'm a gamer, but I never use the female thing. But whatever. But yeah, it really upsets me when that happens to me. And I think I broke the other day when someone started calling me like slut and like these just terrible things on voice chat. And it actually upset me. Like, I wanted to cry. I felt so sad. And then I tried to try to like have a reasonable conversation with them, which is probably one of the biggest mistakes. And I was just like, why do you do this to people? Like, does it make you feel good about yourself or something? He's like, oh, cause I can. And then him and his friend ganged up on me and they just kept saying these terrible things. But then they kept saying like, oh, I know because you like my KDA, you want to suck my dick now. Like, just terrible. Like, why are you saying these things? And it's not funny. I'm not entertained. I'm not turned on. I'm not like feeling any type of way except terrible because you're saying these awful things. So I think going forward, I just mute.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
kind of like what X said, I just mute.
People are so insecure, and I think the biggest thing is that there's no repercussions for it.
Thank you.
And so they can say whatever they want, and they can say whatever they feel, and get away with it, because you can tell them that hurts your feelings, or you can tell them like you're being real ignorant, or you're being like you're not. It doesn't even make sense that you're saying this right now, but they're not going to internalize it
They're
and be a
not.
better person of it. They're just going to go, well, what are you going to do about it?
Exactly.
Like, because you can't. You literally can do nothing.
And it becomes like a game
Yeah.
to trigger you and annoy you and say things like, oh, I'm carrying you, constantly calling you baby. And then when you're just like, can you please stop calling me baby? They're like, why do you think I'm calling you baby? I'm calling someone else baby. And they're like, they're playing with you at that. They're toying with
they're
you at
just
that
being
point.
Stupid.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this in the shower the other day, and I was relating it back to one of my courses that I took in university. And my course was about compensation. And the course was saying that if, for example, you are struggling with company attendance, a good way to up the attendance is link compensation to the performance outcome that you're trying to achieve. So if you're trying to get people to show up regularly at work and attendance is an issue, link that to compensation. Give them like a 5K bonus or a 1K bonus or whatever if they have perfect attendance. Relate rewards directly to the performance you're trying to achieve. If you care, these game companies, I'm talking to you guys, if you actually care about the type of community that you're creating, you will link rewards to people that are not toxic. And I think that if you could develop an honor system and then develop like special skin perks or like special discounts that only go to people who have like level 5 honor and above, or if you have exclusive emotes or exclusive rewards only for those people, it will incentivize people to be just a healthier, better, kinder gamer. But companies don't care about that. They know they're going to lose money, or they're not going to exploit all the opportunities to gain from there financially. So that's why they don't do it. They don't care.
And like, we really need to care, because like
We do.
technology is getting like more and more integrated. Like, my niece now, she video chats me right before work sometimes, and it melts my heart. But like, she also like video chats her friends to play like dolls through an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I really want to become like a tech teacher, because yes, it's one thing how do you use tech, but it's like, how do you interact with it? How does tech make you feel? Like, how the healthy aspects of that And I really think even like to us, sometimes you don't have the energy, all good. Like someone says something dumb on DBD, but it's just like, even if you don't want to like bring it up every single time and being like, that was rude what you said, and this is going to have major implications. It's just like, if someone's really cool, just give them the energy instead.
Yeah,
Like
I
feed
usually
that
say
piece.
that. Like, you mean say that, thank you for being not toxic. Like, this has been such a good game. Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then like
I
hopefully
say
they
that
can kind of
often.
keep spreading that positivity, and then for me, I try to keep that and keep it going. Now of course then there's times like Josh played Dead by Daylight with me where I'm just like, GG, not fun. But like I have
That's
to realize like,
different.
yeah, because obviously like me typing one thing in a comment of a game or like saying something, that's not going to change the world. I'd be crazy to think it did. But I think it's like everyone has to realize how we're interacting online, both on Twitch, on like while we're live and when we're not, because this is the major way people are communicating. And we're fumbling. We've talked a lot about just like miscommunication or how people are saying one thing, and everyone's more accessible now than they ever were before. And all of the troubles that we've been talking about today are just us as a different generation figuring out, how does this work? Like hitting that rock and seeing a spark and making fire and be like, whoa, what's that? Like, this is that new age. And I think it's important for us to realize that impact to make it easier for the next generation.
And how do we use this more efficiently and effectively in a positive way to implement in my life, and not like to add more stress to my
Yeah,
life?
like you having this talk show right now and like chat being positive and us just like talking through it, that has major implications in a great way. Implications I think has a negative
Yeah.
connotation.
No.
Yeah, so, no it doesn't. Impact,
No.
maybe I'll say impact.
No,
But,
implications
like,
is good. Yeah.
okay, so it's like stuff like this, like just having this conversation in live and us chatting about it, it's like focusing more on putting that energy through the internet instead of the Halo 2 days. Like, come on.
And
Like,
I think what you said also is different if you're just like, dude, you guys were, I don't know, like you guys were not communicating as a team and this was not a fun game, as opposed to like, I hope your mom commits, like the completely
Right.
different things, right? Like completely different things. And I really wish that there is some kind of shift in the gamer culture, because as soon as I mention gaming to people, they automatically think toxicity. Like that's such a sad correlation, and that's such a sad uh, association. That's the word I was looking for. Association. I wish I could change that, but unfortunately, I'm not in a space for doing that. Like, I don't work for a gaming company. I don't think they would ever hire me because I have like nothing to contribute in terms of like level design and things like that. But I really wish that that changes, because you really never know how it could impact people. And I think what Crooks mentioned is important too, that kids need to be held accountable for that, because too often we give kids this like free pass to just be dicks because they're kids and they're like finding themselves, they're exploring. But their actions have repercussions. Their actions don't stop having repercussions just because they're kids, right? Like they still have, and they can affect someone as old as me, 31. That kid was probably 16, but he still affected someone like me. So it's not even an age thing. Like you can still upset someone and hurt them and ruin their day regardless of what your age is. So you do need to be shut down, you do need to be taught a lesson, you do need to be reprimanded in some way. And I don't think gaming companies are doing that or taking that into consideration at all. Like they should have a built-in function that records. They're so worried about cheaters, but they're not worried about the toxicity that happens via mic. There should be like a built-in recorder that when you report someone, the time that you report them, they look at the audio at that time and see what was said.
downside there though is the whole like security thing and people always listening. That's what it's so cool, because like it, everything, it's like a big arena of bumper cars, and it's so easy to be like, okay, well, let's end that
Yeah.
toxicity and like where that hits the other one. And that's cool. We need to have that conversation, and maybe there's not an answer created today, but like for instance, Fall Guys, very popular right now, everyone loves it. I'm quite good myself.
Or maybe like when you report it, it clips the last 3 minutes or something like
Right.
that. Maybe not
And-
the whole thing.
Like we do see some people, like Fall Guys got rid of being able to see what your Steam name was, and everyone just has like a number now.
Right.
So like I think like there is some active one, but like Fall Guys is such a small indie crew, and so I think it like any type of do-it-yourself mentality or any type of online community like this, it's like it's self-governing, and we just have to do our part with that.
Yeah, I think, and just one more thing on this like honor system. So I was way too devoted and dedicated to Overwatch. They integrated a system just like that, where it was like, if you were rewarded, you have like an extra level that's 1 through 5, and if you're, the higher rank you are, that's like someone either reported you, but they like good sportsmanship or shot caller or good teammate, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And like
I think
that
League
was
does
rewarding, but that game in itself is very toxic.
that. Yikes! I heard
But
about it.
I like the implementation of that, because it was like rewarding, because then you would also, if you were at a certain level, every week or 2 weeks you would get rewarded with their loot box system, and it's like, that's cool, and you other people have to vote that on you. It's not like you're skill based or anything like that. It's purely like, what do other people think about you, and the lower rank you are, they'll try to pair you up with other people that are the same thing, so you can just be toxic together.
And I like that. Sure, it might only make a difference on a small scale, but it's still showing that the company is cognizant of those effects and that it needs to change, it needs to be fixed, and they're trying. They're trying something. And I can appreciate that. I really can, and that's why I hope Valorant implements something like that too. And of course, last but not least, guys, ultimately, how can we become a healthier streamer? How can we get the balance that we're looking for in our lives? How can we take care of ourselves? How can we be better to ourselves and kinder to ourselves and take the breaks when we need them?
I'd say you don't owe anyone a stream, and we've touched on it a bit with like Norma, like saying that she feels bad and stuff. Like, I have never done a schedule. There was 2 times I think ever I was like, I think I'm going to start a schedule, and mad respect to people who do, because there's absolutely like beneficial reasons to have that. But for me, like, I really love the fact that for me, like, I know things come up, like me as a student, something happens, oh, I realize like that paragraph wasn't good, hey guys, I have to cut stream.
Yeah.
I'd feel awful, and like I see a lot of people that feel that way. It goes down a dark path, and then next thing you know, they need to take a couple months off. So like, if you find you're one of those people, me personally, I never have like a, oh, like Solo Raven, like I don't know your schedule. Like, I don't know either of you guys' schedule if you have one.
Yeah.
It's like, when I'm ready, I go in, I see you there, and I'm like, heck yeah, I want to go support them for
Exactly.
a bit of check-in.
Exactly.
And so for me as a viewer, and it's so awesome that we get to be both, to see both perspectives, like we've talked about. If you yourself recognize that like scheduling is bad, as much as all of those YouTube videos of like, this is how you get partner, like they have that schedule, like maybe that worked for them and that's not going to work for you. You're not going to have the exact same people watching your stream, and that's cool too. So just, that's my one big thing, is if you feel like the schedule isn't for you, or just any like Twitch tip on how to make it big isn't for you, acknowledge that. Maybe you don't get the success that choice brings, but you're much happier.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Valid. Very valid. I think the schedule thing is big too, because for me, like, I work 9 to 6. Those are my hours. And even though I'm working from home now, like, to stream after that is like, wow, I just spent my entire day, and now it's like PM, it's like in the night. And it's like, oh my gosh, if I start streaming now, I'm going to go till midnight. And that's like a big F, but it still is like, well, my entire day's gone because I've already planned on streaming. But that is the perk of like, I can just decide, yeah, well, and after work today, I'm going to stream, and then like just go. And
because you want to.
Yeah, just because you want to. And again, like you said, no shame to the people that do have scheduled streams. That's a grind in itself to like be dedicated to. There are people that I know at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna get a notification. Like I know it, and that's just the way that it is. That's crazy. But
because like you hear a lot of people be like, okay guys, actually I've got this thing that comes up, and again, it's completely fine if people do it, but like they say like, oh, I'll do a makeup stream on that day. It's like, you don't owe anyone the stream. And like, for me, I like it that like Nikki, I appreciate what you said there, Laukin, that like, when I press go live, it's because I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. And
it could be anything.
And if I show up and it's not my thing, like, you guys aren't going to have fun. I'm not going to have fun. There's times where I think I want to stream and then I don't halfway through, and you guys see it because I'm literally like, there's clips of it of just me being like, like, there's just nothing there.
Not having a good time.
Right. I mean, schedules can be nice because there's some people that like, I know as soon as my shift's done, I've got a friend that's going to go live, and like, that's how I can meet certain people or But again, it's just think about it, and if it's for you, awesome. And if it's not, you don't have to follow what YouTube and Twitch, Twitter could be its own chat.
Agreed. I really like I really like what Krugs and what Josh have said so far. It's really about finding what's good for you, what works for you, and there's no shame either way. Like, you are entitled to experiment. You're entitled to have a schedule one week, and then the next week you just might not stream at all, and that's okay. Like, I feel that I have a schedule, and I do this is what I'm planning to do, and I every Sunday I release a schedule about the upcoming week and like what I think I'm gonna do. But if one day I say I'm gonna do just chatting, and I wake up and I'm like, no, I want to do a horror game, I do a horror game because I want to. I don't let that schedule define what I'm going to do in that day. It's more for me to make sure that I'm allocating time for certain things that I want to do, like music stream, Just Dance stream, this and this, but doesn't mean that's what they're going to get, what people are going to get. And the people that truly support me and want to be there just because they like chilling with me, they'll be okay with that. And those who don't, they won't show up for that day, or like they just won't come back ever again. And I think it's about assessing why you are streaming. Like, are you doing it for your personal happiness with the goal that one day you will, make it big, because there's no shame in wanting to, having that big dream? Or are you doing it to like please others, and you want to satisfy chat, you want to satisfy what people are expecting of you? I personally think that if that's the route you're going down, it might not end up with you being very happy, especially not all the time, because you're not listening to yourself, and you're not listening to what your heart wants to do and what your mind might need to do that day. Maybe you'll just need a sleep day, and I feel like that leads to more of a burnout. So just, I think, take care of yourself, look out for yourself, and just know that the people who truly care about you and want the best for you will appreciate that and understand that. And be safe. Like, if you are taking conversations out of stream and in private, make sure you are assessing the messages that you're sending, the content that you're sharing, the part of your life that you're allowing people to enter in, because people could seem like they mean well, but you're giving them, I know this is so sad, but like, experiences, bro, that's what they've taught me. You're giving them ammo to possibly exploit you one day, and you just don't know. Like, Krugs, I know. Whoa, shoot, I almost dropped this. Josh, I know. Like, those are people that I just, like, I know their heart, so I know it's just a vibe you get from someone that you know that they would never do something like that to you. But there are some people that you just got to be a little wary of, and trust your gut. Your gut will tell you that something's a little off about this person. I cannot stress to you guys enough how important this is. I have talked to many streamers, more female streamers than male streamers, that have gotten in a situation where they've shared personal details about their life, like their parents' names or their family members' names, or like, oh, I live here and I went to school here, and that person like will use that information to either track them down or like blackmail them ish. It's scary. It's really scary, because at the end of the day, you don't know who's on the other side of that screen watching you, listening to you. So I definitely think safety is a huge thing that I would want to put out there to be safe.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add as closing remarks, guys?
Hashtag Norma for partner.
Hey, hashtag Norma for partner. Absolutely.
This is fun. I think everyone needs to kind of get a group of people and just talk about their streaming
Yeah.
experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think yeah, maybe somebody that like is pushing for that like that is going for that full-time job right now, I would be interested about that perspective too.
Yeah.
That's that, because we all kind of do this for us, and that's, I think, not that people that are pushing for full-time Twitch aren't doing it for themselves, but there's also some external motivators that aren't as intrinsic as just making new friends.
Yeah.
My closing thing is very short and simple, and to summarize everything that I've said is that like, I'm so grateful for all of the relationships that I've made since streaming, and because I know that the relationships are genuine, and that if I were to ever meet someone in person, like nothing would be different. I know that the people that I'm close to are the people that they are, and I'm so grateful for that. And I look forward to meeting anyone else that, you know, wants to stay and hang out and listen to My Chemical Romance, you know. So
And only My Chemical
and
Romance.
only the MC Army. But the relationships built are huge in that community. That, and I say community not like people have built themselves around me, but that like I feel it involved in so many other people's lives in a positive way. That's so good. And good Charlotte, yes. But that's it.
Yeah. Ultimately, just take care of yourselves, guys. Even if you're doing this for a push for partner, just take care of yourselves. Your health and your happiness are ultimately amazing things to watch out for and protect and take care of, because really we are nothing without our health. Like, we really are nothing without our health. All these dreams we have, all of these things we want to do, you can't do that if you're not healthy. So we come first, and you should not be feeling ashamed, and no one should make you feel ashamed to put yourself first. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes just to say goodbye offline to Franchise, Norma, and Krugs. But thank you guys so much for being here. Do you want to say bye to everyone before we head off?
Bye. This is such a good
Bye.
conversation.
This is so
Yeah,
fun. Thank you.
We appreciate you guys.
Yes, we do.
I know we missed quite a few conversations, but
Yeah,
I think
that's...
everything was touched there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good amount of stuff.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. See you soon. Guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being part of this stream. It was such a great learning experience. It was such a great conversation. I learned so much more about Krugs, about Franchise, about Norma. Unfortunately, she had to head off because of her earphones, but it was a great talk, and I really appreciate all of you joining in, talking about your experiences. I'm very sorry that I missed a lot of chat, but unfortunately, sometimes it goes by too quickly, and like I can't keep focused on chat and listen to the guests. But I hope you guys understand. I'm really sorry. And I did not do the song yet, so I can do the song right now. Okay? So for those of you who are new here, there is an opening song that I have. It's really cringe, and it's meant to be cringe. But I just wish I was cool, and I wish I was a rapper. So I try to rap. All right? Thank you, Habibi. So here we go. Okay? Here we go. Here's the song, guys. We closing off the real talk with a rap. Here we go. Oh snap, it's my Ravens. It's time with you, I've been craving. Been looking forward to this all day. Let's have a scrumptious time today. Skippy-doo bop, 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 bop. Moo moo bop, bop, bop. Skit, scat, diddly doo, and a spooky boogie boogie boo. And a spooky boogie 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 boo. We had Krugs and Norma and Josh up in here talking about streaming and things like Scarborough tings, Toronto slang, and maple syrup is tick with THICC and a drip. Okay, it's over. I'm done. I'm moving on with my life. Let's move on to something that's not cringe. We are going to be rating TC. He is playing Fall Guys right now, and he's actually streaming. We're going to show that good lovin' over to TC. He is actually playing blindfolded. This should be hella fun. Take care. Stay scrumptious, everyone. And I'm wishing your heart and mind peace and happiness. Let's spread this good lovin' to TC. Take care, stay scrumptious, and Raven out. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting all of you.